team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone! Jason Swain, touchdown!
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Rick Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com. Fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Packed show for you today here on a beautiful Wednesday in East Tennessee. 8:15, we'll be joined by Chris Lowe, ESPN. 9:15, Jed Drenning, follow him on Twitter at the Signal Caller. Works for West Virginia. Play calls for the West Virginia Mountaineers. We'll talk to him. And then 9:30, we'll talk to Keenan Cummings, who covers the team for Rivals there in Morgantown. 865-255-03. 3 days till kickoff. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here with you. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Got the free app. We're on 850 AM, 100.9 FM. We're streaming live at SwainEvent.com. What's up, Ben? You look ready to go, man. With your I will give my all for Tennessee shirt that is fitting very nicely. It's very
Yeah, I feel like baby shirt burst today. I didn't realize how much this shirt had shrunk. So I put it on and was in the car this morning, and I did not feel like walking back up the steps to my apartment to put on a new one. So I'll just take the jokes as is today.
Sun's out, guns out, Ben McKee.
My farmer's tan is showing today.
You ready to go, man?
Oh, yeah.
You letting the West Virginia Mountaineers know what's up.
Yeah, this is probably the last time you'll see me wearing this shirt.
I mean, you can save it for, maybe your son in 10, 15 years.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't realize it shrunk since the last time I washed it. I normally don't put it in the dryer.
See, what had happened was,
I think last time I was home, I think it was placed in the dryer for me.
This is what you need to do, man. You need to do what Mountaineer fans do. They don't have a dryer. You just get a piece of string and just tie it up in the backyard and just hang your clothes over that. That's what you do, man.
Or
that's how you
just
do it.
Cut the sleeves off. They do that as well. Then it won't be as snug.
That's what you do, man. You don't need a dryer. Just dry it outside. Ask the Ninja Star.
I guess so. But you said 3 days until kickoff, which is very exciting. But I'm putting you on the spot to start the show.
All right, go for it.
With 3 days to kickoff.
What you got?
Josh Malone wore number 3. Robert Meacham wore number 3. If it's third and 7 and you got to pick up a first down, which one are you throwing to?
Come on, man.
Herb Meacham.
Okay, just had to make sure.
Yeah,
I just had to make sure.
I'm going with the first rounder, man.
No, I know. Both were excellent at Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going with my guy. I don't know what Malone did better than Meacham at Tennessee as far as a wide receiver play. Maybe the jump ball. I mean, he had a couple jump. No.
If anything, you could say the go route, maybe.
No, Meacham's faster.
Exactly. So
yeah, Meacham's faster than Malone, and weighed about 20 pounds more. And Meacham is a freak. So,
yeah, that's no slight to Malone.
No, not at all.
Meacham is just a freak.
Not at all. All right, so yesterday we talked about West Virginia's 3-3-5 defense and why they play that and why they recruit the players that they do recruit for that defense. And their defense coordinator, Gibson, he's been successful in his years coaching college football, running this certain defense. But we have to stop their offense. It's a really good offense. They have Will Grier. We know about him. He already beat Tennessee once as a true freshman, showed a ton of composure. So we know that he possesses that quality. He is composed. He has a great arm. He also has a knack for escaping in the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield. Reminded me a lot of, the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilsons and guys like that who don't necessarily have to beat you with their legs north and south, but they can beat you with their legs east and west and avoid sacks. And when that happens, our DBs need to be very, 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 very disciplined and stay with our man. Now, they have a really good group of wide receivers led by a former all-star child prodigy quarterback in David Seals, who was the 8th grader or 7th grader or infant that Lane Kiffin offered when he was at USC. And this young man was one of those quarterbacks that got the lessons and instruction from the top quarterback teachers in the country. And it didn't pan out for him to play quarterback, but he's one of the best wide receivers in the country. He's 6'4", great hands, and he understands how to use his body against the defender, how to create separation. He catches the ball away from his body. He's good. I'm not going to lie. But I know of a true freshman corner that was 6 foot, that was 3-star from Jonesboro, Georgia, that came in and didn't take any mess from anybody, any wide receiver, and held his own against any guy in the country, and that was Cam Sutton. And Cam Sutton is playing on Sundays. So it's not far-fetched to think that Alontae Taylor and Bailey Buchanan will have some good plays against David Seals. Red zone, beware. The ball is probably going to Seals. If I am the offense coordinator of West Virginia and I have a 6'4" wide receiver, that is where I'm going. At least one out of the 4 downs, I'm going to Seals in the end zone because of the height advantage. I like this challenge for Tennessee. I see more and more people are starting to pump the brakes on all of the love for West Virginia, all of the, West Virginia's 10-point favorite. Yeah, I think Tennessee is going to lose. I think West Virginia has this in the bag. Oh, yeah. I see more and more people as we get closer to the game. They're second thinking. Their predictions, their takes are cooling down a little bit. They're starting to think with their head instead of their hearts. They realize that Tennessee is an SEC team that has recruited very, very well over the last couple of years. And guess what? Those dudes are still on this team. And Tennessee has a coaching staff that knows what they're doing. So these guys will be coached up. So now it's time to start thinking with your head, which will tell you that, man, Tennessee has a chance to win this game. Tennessee has some advantages in this game. Yes, West Virginia also has some advantages. Kurt Herbstreit. You can feel how you want to feel about Kurt, his opinion on Rashawn Golden the last year or so. You can feel how you want to feel about him, his opinions on Ohio State. One thing you cannot deny that Kurt Herbstreit knows his X's and O's. He does a great job when he's in the booth. He does a great job of telling you like it is when it comes to X's and O's. Does a great job. He's one of my favorites. Kurt Herbstreit joined Peter Burns on his radio show called SEC This Morning. It's on Sirius XM Radio. And they were talking about some of the Week 1 matchups and maybe some of the surprises. And this is what Kurt Herbstreit had to say. Wouldn't surprise me if Tennessee gives West Virginia a run for their money in Week 1. A lot of hype for Will Grier, and rightfully so, but the Vols still have some serious athletes. I repeat, but the Vols, V-A-W-L-S, the Vols still have some serious athletes. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth, folks. You think just because you went 4-8 that you don't have the talent? You still got the talent. 4-8 was more about attitude than talent. 4-8 was more about mental than physical. Nothing wrong with Tennessee physically. Now, had to get bigger, had to get stronger, got a little faster. Yeah, you got that. Had to revamp some of the medical staff there to improve our health, and it looks like that's happened. But these dudes are still really good athletes. All right, let's get to Daniel to start our phones here, hour 1, Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Daniel, good morning.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, Daniel. How are you, sir?
I'm doing amazing. This is 3 days to game day, and football's almost here.
It's almost here, brother.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I was watching some film on West Virginia. The one I was watching, have you watched their game against Virginia Tech last year?
Not yet. I need to watch that because Virginia Tech was physical in that football game. That's something that they have been for decades under Frank Beamer, and defensively they're the same with Bud Foster. So I have not watched that game yet. I need to.
Yeah, and that's the one that I was watching, and just a few things I noticed from it. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, specifically as a former receiver. But, you were talking about how they were physical with them, and how about with a team like West Virginia, when you're playing defense against them, that's the best way you're going to be able to beat them. But one of the few things I noticed was that when Virginia Tech in that game was giving them a cushion, was giving their wide receivers a cushion, it gave them room to either get into their route and, they didn't have any resistance, so they were able to get upfield, or they would do a quick slant or a quick comeback, and then they would have room to get upfield. But when they pressed them, they were physical with them, they bumped them off the line, it really threw them out of their route. Now, I feel like that's how it is with pretty much any receiving group, but I feel like specifically with a speedy and talented passing game like West Virginia, even more specifically, that's what you need to do to throw them out of their game. Am I wrong in thinking that?
No, you're absolutely right. If you've watched the practice clips this fall camp, I don't know if you noticed this, Daniel, or anyone listening, but I did. I noticed that our DBs were using a sled. Did y'all see that? Where the DBs were using a sled and they were working They were working on pressing. They was working on their punch. That is what you have to be able to do in this defense playing corner. And if I'm a 6'4" wide receiver and I don't have blazing speed, I hate being pressed up. I used to hate that from Jonathan Wade. Jonathan Wade is a legit 4'2" guy. He didn't feel like running a 4'2" at the pro day, the combine. But I'm telling you, he's a 4'2". And when I went up against Jonathan Wade, I used to love playing off. Because I used to love when he played off, because I would have a running start of about 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. He would be standing still. He would have to kind of motor out, backpedal a little bit, and then flip his hips and then run full speed if I ran a go route or if I ran a post route or whatever. But jamming me off the line of scrimmage, I won't say gave me fits, but I preferred him playing off because Jonathan was so fast, I knew even if I beat him, he's still going to run next to me. So I think Tennessee needs to do the same thing. Now, you have to be careful about some of your jams. At the goal line, hey, you may be able to play a little bit off and inside, expecting the fade, being able to play it. But in the middle of the football field, from the 25 to the 25, I don't think we should play off on these wide receivers. Get up in their mugs, be physical with them, understand that they're going to try to do a lot of their bubble screens from the wide receiver position. It's an extension of their running game. Also beware of the fake bubble screen. Now, this is something that Ole Miss did back when Ole Miss beat Alabama at Alabama. Ole Miss did a lot of those things. Bubble screens out to the wide receivers. And then they did a fake one where the guy that was blocking faked like he was blocking and went up the sideline. Now, the DB was right there, but the Ole Miss wide receiver made a play on a 50-50 ball. So these freshman DBs who are playing, they have to be aware of that, of the fakes from the wide receivers, the corners and the post combinations, the stack bunches and the switch routes and all the things that sometimes a freshman gets confused on. Be ready for that because it's coming. But to answer your question, Daniel, I want to see our DBs physical. Punching them in the chest, punching them in the mouth, because if you play off of them, you're doing exactly what they want you to do.
And they attack soft coverage. In watching their games last year, every time the defense was playing soft coverage, playing 10, 15 yards off, they attacked them every single time with bubble screens, with curl routes. Every single time. It was easy money just attacking them, picking up first downs here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, and one more thing I noticed about the physicality against them, it was just like you were saying, when Virginia Tech, at least in the first quarter that I saw, when Virginia Tech would run east-west, that played right into them, and they got them tackled for loss, and they never gained more than 2 or 3 yards when they ran east to west. But when they ran straight at them, they were getting 5 and 6 yards every time, and it was just a little more than West Virginia's defense was willing to handle when they hit them right in the mouth of the run game instead of going east to west.
That's right, man. That's right. You got to bring that pop. You got to bring that pissed off power to the game, man. A lot of folks down in Tennessee. And you got to just run downhill. You got to run at these dudes. And they may have some success early at defending that. But 4 quarters, a half of defending Tennessee running right downhill. You got guys like Brandon Kennedy and Jerome Carvin, Ryan Johnson, Trey Smith running right at you, weighing 20, 30 pounds more than you on the front. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to hold up for an entire half or entire game. You may hold up for a half, but that third quarter, that end of the third quarter, that fourth quarter, you're going to wear down. I saw Alabama wear down in the national championship against Clemson because they had to play 80, 90 plays on defense. You will wear down eventually, and so Tennessee just needs to make sure that they do what they do to make sure that West Virginia wears down. Do not change up. Do not freestyle. If you have a game plan going into the game to run the ball, be physical, don't start trying to be Brett Favre in the middle of the game. Don't start trying to be Aaron Rodgers in the middle of the game, throwing the ball 50 times. You have an advantage running the football. And LaPrue being defensive mind, defensive coordinator, as the head coach, I think he's going to make sure that Tyson Helton understands that.
He's going to be like Bama fans. Run the ball.
Run it.
Run the ball.
I'm a wide receiver, man. I'm saying run it. I'm sorry, Callaway. I'm sorry, Jennings. I want y'all to catch passes and be wide receiver you again. But, I want to win. That's more important than anything else. Take our first break of the day here in the Swain event. Stay with us. Be right back.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lovell Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping. Church is over.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
All right, Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America, 865-255-03. Again, on a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday here. There's a couple guys on West Virginia's football team that you need to be aware of. Of course, it starts with Will Greer. Here's a quarterback. He's mobile. Big arm, experienced, smart, composed. Got a couple of wide receivers on the outside. David Long, he has been a playmaker for them at linebacker for more than 2 years. But when Tennessee played Loyola Chicago, they had an unofficial mascot.
When you pissed off Sister Jean.
And that was Sister Jean. It's a little trash talking. Listen, if you 5 or 95, you're going to get some trash talk, just the way it is. There's a respectful way to do it. There's a disrespectful way of doing it. But you're going to get trash talk. That's what makes college sports great, okay? Sister Jean was Loyola Chicago's unofficial mascot. And she gave that team power. There's one guy I'm afraid of going up against West Virginia. That is the West Virginia Ninja. You remember that guy a couple of years ago. If you don't remember, this is him right here.
You got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop. Now, what smart thing to do is like when you use a judo chopping, you got to say it, for you beginners. Like a Judy chop. Because what you don't want to do is like be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking, and there goes your leg.
That's it. See, I'm worried about him. Because you got to say it when you're doing it. That's a Judy chopping. That's a karate chopping. You got to be careful because you might Judy chop your leg off. This guy's from West Virginia. 3.7 million views on YouTube. 2008. This guy's from West Virginia. He worries me, man. I hope he's not going to be at the game.
Yeah, Tennessee's offense may have some problems if West Virginia's defense has been watching that video this offseason.
That'll fire you up, man.
I mean, the ninja chop, if the defensive line uses that to get past Tennessee's offensive line, they're in trouble.
Trey Smith has no chance.
That's Trey Smith's kryptonite.
Oh, man. Oh, goodness. I love the trash talk from Tennessee fan. Jay called in, and Jay always is a good call. But, listen, this is college football. This is game week. I don't care if West Virginia is ranked 17. I don't care if they're a 10-point favorite. I don't care that Tennessee went 4-8 last year. You better talk your trash.
Talk yo ish.
That's what your job is as a Tennessee fan, is to talk junk. The team's job is to go out there and back it up. The coach's job is to make sure that we are able to back it up. It ain't our job. Talk that trash as much as you can.
It's kind of funny to watch West Virginia and Tennessee talk trash to each other. Mainly the Barstool, the Barstool Twitter accounts for Tennessee and West Virginia. It's kind of funny to watch those two trash talk each other because they use the same jokes. There's the stereotypical, oh, you live in Tennessee, you're a redneck or you're a hillbilly. Well, West Virginia, you a hillbilly too.
Yeah,
or education or being fat.
Honestly, we're really similar.
Yes.
If you think about it. But we're not thinking about it because it's game week and we're emotional, and so we're not going to think about those things that make us so much alike. All we know is we wear orange and they wear that ugly.
Hey, no, we're not going to go there.
Ugly.
My high school colors.
I know where I'm going.
Better than your Cleveland Browns high school colors.
Ugly blue and yellow. I didn't say yellow. I say yellow.
It's yeller down there in West Virginia.
Ugly.
That blue and yeller.
That's all we know. Y'all wear y'all's colors. We wear ours. But in a lot of other ways, we are very similar if you want to stop and think about it. But don't stop and think about it because there's no fun in stopping and thinking. Just go. Just go and talk your trash as much as you can.
Speaking of colors, I'm a big fan of the peripheral in college football, all the extra stuff that don't matter, jersey colors, venues, things like that. Tennessee should be wearing orange this weekend, which I am very excited about because I don't want to go to a neutral site game wearing white. And Tennessee has not played in a neutral site game over the last 5-10 years in white that I recall. NC State, they wore orange. Georgia Tech, they wore orange. Bowling Green, they wore orange. Even in the bowl game against Nebraska, Northwestern, and Iowa, they wore orange.
Battle Bristol.
Yep.
Virginia Tech wore those ugly black and what were y'all thinking? Anyways, yeah, we wore
like
orange.
Turtles.
We wore them there too.
So it's always good. I love seeing the bright orange Tennessee jerseys in neutral site games. It's very refreshing.
Another thing that don't matter but maybe matters, but we can mention it and pretend like it matters because it may be the one thing that helps Tennessee win. See how I did that? Confused, huh? Me too. Coach Fulmer's birthday is on the 1st.
Oh, Tennessee's winning.
Coach Fulmer's birthday is Saturday.
Oh, Tennessee's going to win by 100.
Coach Fulmer, September the 1st, that is his born day.
Interesting.
Coach Fulmer needs to walk up to Pruitt before the game and go, hey, don't mess up my birthday.
It better be a good birthday for me.
Let's get this dub. Let's get this win. Today is my birthday. 865-255-03, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. And Coach Fulmer would be 68 on Saturday. 68.
He doesn't look 68. I mean, not to me at least. He looks like he's pushing 55, 60. He still looks young.
Ben, you don't have to suck up to Coach Fulmer, man, to get him on the show.
Look, I'm not sucking up to him.
We can get him on the show
I'm being honest.
Without you sucking up to him.
I'm being honest.
865-255-03, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. The West Virginia Ninja.
Now,
the Ninja.
We spent the first 30 minutes joking around, but, today's a very important day.
Chris Lowe's coming on the show.
That is very important that we're going to be joined by another Hollywood star like yourself. But it's J-Day. We found out about J.J. Peterson today. According to Austin Price, he should be getting in his car here shortly and headed up to Rocky Top. So is today the day that J.J. Peterson arrives on Rocky Top?
This is going to sound so bad.
Are we going to have folks at the airport camped out looking for him?
This is going to sound so bad. I care, but I don't care. Because for this game, J.J. Peterson is not going to help. But for the long term, I do care because J.J. is a great player. And I know that once he gets here, he's going to have all the resources academically to be successful. And I think this scare will wake him up and make him understand that he has to take that stuff serious. It's not something you like to do. I didn't like doing it either. But you have to do it. It's part of it. But yeah, today is supposed to be J.J. Peterson Day. Actually, this morning is supposed to be J.J. Peterson morning. So we'll see if we get an update on when he touches down.
Are we going to have Tennessee fans camped out on the side of Alcoa Highway? Well, I guess he wouldn't come in through Alcoa Highway. If he's coming from Georgia, he'd be coming on 40 West.
Yep.
So are we going to have folks camped, where that split to where you can go towards Chattanooga or Nashville? Are we going to have folks camped out in that little fork in the road? with the binoculars looking for J.J. Peterson?
I mean, just look for the escort, man, from the Tennessee State Patrol, or the state troopers from Tennessee. You start seeing those flashing lights, and you see those Georgia tags on the car, you know it's J.J. Peterson. 865-200-5503. We'll go to the text box after this break. Stay with us.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lovell Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices, and during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted, like a new Silverado, now 25% off, a new Equinox, now 20% off, and a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain event.
Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
All right, let's go around the SEC this morning here in the Swain event. And Around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street Design. Branding, custom website design, logo design, and print design. That is what 42nd Street Design specializes in. Go to their website at 42sd.com, 42ndstreetdesign.com. Mike is your guy that you need to contact, 865-382-7007. They're revamping the Swain event website as we speak. Their entire team, they work in-house. They're a local company right here in Blount County. They have a ton of clients, businesses that you see each and every day that these businesses trust 42nd Street Marketing and Design with their branding and marketing. And you should too if you need a website, if you need logo design, if you need business cards. Give them a call. None of that cookie cutter website business over there at 42nd Street Design. It's all custom. And the Swain event website here in a couple of weeks will be fire. Fire. We're working on it right now. Can't wait for everyone to see it. I'm going to go to Mississippi State. Yesterday I wanted to go to Mississippi State, but there were so many quarterbacks named inside the SEC that we made it more about the conference and the quarterbacks being named more than about just what's going on in Mississippi State. Nick Fitzgerald he's suspended for their first game. Suspended. This is supposed to be their leader, their captain, their quarterback, and Mississippi State announced that he will be suspended due to a violation of team rules. This West Virginia team, Mississippi State team.
They're kind of the same, West Virginia, Mississippi.
No. This Mississippi State team is supposed to be the team in the West that could shock Auburn and Alabama. They have the dudes. They have the experience. They have the talent. They have players on the defensive line that opted to come back for their senior season than to go to the NFL. They have a quarterback that has navigated in this conference for the last couple years who has played well. They're ready to go. This is their time. When Dan Mullen was at Mississippi State and you had Dak Prescott and they found themselves ranked number 1 in the country, that team was built over the last 2 or 3 years. Well, this team now has been built over the last 2 or 3 years. That's what Mississippi State has been able to do under Dan Mullen is, they won't compete for a championship every year, but because of some really good coaching and development, every 2 years or so, they can make a run. Well, here we are for Mississippi State. They are in position to make a run, and you have your starting quarterback who will be suspended for week 1. They're going to win the game, but still, to have your quarterback suspended week 1, keep your eye on that. This could be a good thing, though, for Joe Moorhead. Coming in, laying the foundation, and saying no one is above the rules, no one is above our standards. I don't care if you're the quarterback or if you last on the depth chart. If you break the rules, you will be suspended. So this could be good long-term for Mississippi State, but I'm keeping an eye on Nick Fitzgerald being suspended for the first game.
And I think you've already started to reap the benefits of setting the tone within your locker room, because after Joe Moorhead announced that Nick Fitzgerald was suspended yesterday, or Monday rather, he said that it happened in March. The reason for the suspension happened in March, and since then, Fitz has done a phenomenal job of stepping up as a leader, not letting the same things hamper him, taking a leadership role on the offense and running with it and setting a good example for his teammates. That he had a great offseason, has been great everywhere within the program, in the community. So it looks like it was just a learning / teaching moment for Nick Fitzgerald there in Mississippi State.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but this kind of deserves an early for what. Nick Fitzgerald wasn't the only SEC player suspended for the opener. Vanderbilt safety Zaire Jones was charged last week with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He has been suspended indefinitely by the team. Apparently, according to an arrest affidavit obtained by the Tennessean, he refused to stop for an off-duty police officer and struck the officer on the knee with his vehicle while attempting to drive around a traffic barricade near campus. Why are you trying to evade the police the week before a football game?
Yeah, just sit down somewhere, man. Get ready for the game. So that is around the SEC. Back to what's important. That's
J.J. Peterson.
That is his text box. John in Gainesville says, how has Drew Richmond looked thus far? Really think he's going to blossom under this system and staff. I do too. I like Will Friend. I think the urgency for Drew Richmond will benefit him. When you are a freshman, just like when you are a teenager, I mean, you do things knowing that, okay, I'm young, I'll figure it out later, I got plenty of time. As you get older, you realize, oh, man, wait a minute, I got to grow up. Some of the things I did when I was younger I can't do right now. Same thing for Drew Richmond. He's not a freshman anymore. You're not a sophomore anymore. You don't have enough time to figure it out. You're a fossil now. you are a fossil. When you become a junior, when you become a senior in college football, the light cuts on for you. It's downhill. You don't have a lot of time to figure it out. You got to go now. You don't want to be labeled as a bust. There's still time for Drew Richmond. And I don't like calling kids a bust. I really don't. I try to avoid it every chance I get. But when you are the number 1 ranked offensive tackle in the country and you don't play like that in your first couple of years, it's hard to not call you that. But he still has time. He's a junior. He has this season. He has next season. Drew Richmond was the 3rd offensive tackle in the country according to the 247 composite there in the 2016 class. So he still has time. But from everything I've heard, he's looked pretty good.
We didn't really get to talk about the depth chart at length yesterday, but I guess my main takeaway was that Trey Smith slotted in at left tackle, Jameer Johnson at left guard. We talked about it a little bit with Austin Price, but I said it a couple weeks ago. I think Drew Richmond playing right tackle for this team is the best thing possible because that allows you to play Trey Smith at left tackle. When you have arguably the best offensive lineman in football on your roster, you need him playing left tackle. You need him protecting your quarterback's blind side, anchoring down that left side of the line. I love the move, and I think the fact that Tennessee is in a position to where they can slide Drew Richmond over to right tackle can only benefit Drew Richmond, the offensive line, and the offense, especially when I know Jarrett Guarantano has played a lot, relatively speaking, last year, but I've kind of wiped the slate clean with him. So in my mind, he's somewhat of a new starting quarterback just because he's in an actual offensive system with actual head coaches and offense coordinators now. So I think it is very important to have Trey Smith out there protecting his blind side as he is going through new progressions, new schemes, and things of that nature, reading defenses. I think it's great news for Tennessee that Trey Smith is able to slide in there at left tackle.
Well, for Drew Richmond to be able to play tackle means that, and Trey Smith to be able to play tackle, that means that you like what you've seen at guard.
Mm-hmm. That too.
I mean, for Jameer Johnson to come in as a JUCO offensive lineman, and JUCO offensive linemen normally are undeveloped physically, mentally, emotionally. You just never know what you're going to get. It's like buying a house that was foreclosed on and you want to flip it. You go in. Yeah, I watch those shows on HGTV.
Oh, I know you do.
Don't judge me. Chip and Joanne, I check them out. I watch it from time to time. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, it's like buying one of those homes. You just never know what you're going to get until you open that door, until you get behind those walls. Oh, there's a pipe that's busted. Oh, my God, we got to replace this. We got to replace that. Well, it's like the JUCO player. You watch the game film, and my goodness, he's dominating. Yeah, we need some help. We're very slim, but then you get him, and you just never know. Emotionally, how are they? How do they handle adversity? How do they handle a weight room? How do they handle competition at this level? How do they handle having a strict regimen every single day that you have to follow, where you got to be in class at this time, you got to be in workouts this time. Everything is laid out for you. How do you handle that? We saw where Dontavius Blair didn't do a good job of handling that. He didn't mesh with some of his teammates. He was out of shape. He was underdeveloped. So for Jameer Johnson to come in when we thought he was going to play tackle and help at tackle, to come in and be slotted as a co-starter at guard.
And really underweight.
At 285 pounds, man, that tells you a lot about him. That tells you a lot about him.
I really think he's going to fit in well with Trey Smith and Brandon Kennedy on that left side of the line, because we all love to praise Trey Smith for his dog mentality. From where Jameer Johnson has come from in Philadelphia and the JUCO ranks, he has a lot of dog in him, and I think that's why you see him ascend to the top at left guard.
Tells you a lot about Ryan Johnson and Jerome Carvin, true freshman Carvin coming in from West Tennessee as an early enrollee, and he really took some big steps during the spring. Mm-hmm. Where's Chance Hall in all this? where I'm looking. I know that he is listed as one of the oars with Drew Richmond, Marcus Tatum, and Chance Hall. I mean, listen, whoever this oar feller is,
he's impressive. 6-star recruit.
My goodness.
We'll have to ask Titans Bill when he calls in today where he's from.
He's special. But where's Chance Hall in all this? Because I believe Chance Hall is one of our 2 best tackles on our football team. Him being the third oar, is it similar to TK Jr. being third oar?
Tells me that he's not healthy.
Because TK Jr. is not ready to go physically right now. Does that mean Chance Hall's not ready to go? But if you listen to West Virginia, Chance Hall is playing. He's starting. Just letting y'all know.
Starting right tackle.
He's starting. He's 100%. And he's going to ninja star you. Karate chop. You better be ready, West Virginia. Ninja star. It's dangerous. Swain event. Be right back.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lovell Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
There is a 30% chance of rain today, mainly after 5, mostly sunny with a high of 89 and a low of 72. Tomorrow, the chance of showers increases to 50%, partly sunny with a high of 88 and a low of 69. Friday, there is a 40% chance of precipitation with a high in the upper 80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lovell Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com.
Warranty good at participating dealers.
Having surgery can be scary, and having to navigate around a massive medical center can be even more overwhelming. Fortunately, the premier office-based surgery center in Knoxville offers a convenient and affordable option for surgical care. Our skilled surgeons and friendly staff treat you just like family. Everything at our state-certified accredited center is designed with your comfort in mind, and Premier offers flat fee package pricing for basic gallbladder and hernia procedures. Visit premiersurgerypackages.com for more details. The Premier Office-Based Surgery Center. Surgical expertise you can trust.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself.
Attaboy.
One of my favorite segments on the show here is Attaboy, where we highlight positivity here on the show. We do that every morning in the first hour to get you started before you go to work. Attaboy is brought to you by Premier Surgical and premiersurgical.com. Make sure you go to their website. They offer surgeries with a better experience, better pricing. They're at premiersurgical.com. If you ever had surgery, you may have experienced sticker shock afterwards when you receive multiple bills. The Premier Surgical Office-Based Surgery Center in Knoxville offers a flat fee package pricing for basic gallbladder and hernia surgeries. It's one price, one bill, and you know the total cost up front. That is premiersurgical.com. All right, Ben, what do we have for Attaboy today?
I am giving J.J. Watt and the Justin J. Watt Foundation an Attaboy today because earlier this week it was released the progress of the contributions made to the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund. Obviously, Hurricane Harvey destroyed the Houston area this time last year, right at the beginning of football season. J.J. Watt and his foundation helped raise $41.6 million, making it the largest crowdsourced fundraiser in the world, or not in the world, in history of the world. So pretty incredible. All funds have been distributed to 8 nonprofits, being All Hands and Hearts, America Cares, Boys and Girls Clubs, Baker Ripley, Feeding America, Habitat for Humanity, Save the Children, and SBP. And those funds that they raised have been used on cleanup, repair, and rebuilding of 600 plus homes, recovery and rebuilding of 420 plus child care centers and after school programs serving 13,000 plus kids, distribution of 26 million meals, physical and mental health services to 6,500 plus, and distribution of medicine to 10,000 plus. So we need more folks like J.J. Watt, like LeBron James in this world. So attaboy to J.J. Watt.
Good stuff, J.J. Watt. Let's go to the phones and let's bring in Trevor. Trevor, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Trevor.
Hey, so I'm convinced that at this point we're probably going to see J.J. Peterson dropping in over the stadium, parachuting out with like those guys pregame coming in.
Oh yeah, that deliver the football.
That's going to be J.J. Peterson. He's going to be in full uniform, coming in, landing on the field. So that's what's going to happen.
I believe it. I believe it, to be honest.
Hey, so I had a question. I was thinking back to when Pruitt was doing his introductory press conference, and I think somebody asked him about, what, coming from Alabama, he likes to play a 3-4, and I think someone was asking him if that's what he's going to do, or if he's basically going to adjust it throughout the season. What do you think we're going to see as far as, majority of this season? Because I think back to when Sal Sinceri tried to, implement a 3-4 and it didn't go so well. Do you think it's still going to require time to implement it, or we're going to kind of use different formations, or what?
I think we're going to use different formations. I think what you've heard from Pruitt the last few times he's talked is they're going to do what their players can do. If their players can handle it, then they'll do what their players can handle. If they can't, then they'll do something else. And so depending on the offense, I see Pruitt and company making some adjustments, and it may appear that it may be a 4-3 or 3-4, but Pruitt's already said on record that he's going to do exactly what his players can do and what they can handle. Let's go to Mark on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Thanks for the phone call, Trevor. Mark, good morning.
Bueno, my brother, what's happening?
What's up?
Hey, man, what's this adjustment thing that you're speaking of? I've not heard this word in
Yeah, it's in the dictionary, man. It's before the B's.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
hey, man, just hearing you.
Adjustment, huh? What?
Adjustment.
Let me look that up for you, Mark. Let's get a real definition.
See if you can get Ben or somebody look that up for me and see what that means.
Let's get a real definition of adjustment. Okay, here we go, Mark. A small alternation or movement made to achieve a desired fit, appearance, or result. Wow, I never knew.
That sounds like something we needed for a while.
Wow, here's another one. The process of adapting or becoming used to a new situation. Whoa, Mark!
Mind blowing.
Wow, so you see something that you're not ready for. It's new to you, and then you adapt.
Change it up.
Oh my gosh,
man!
Mark.
We're going to revolutionize Tennessee football.
Wow. I think we just discovered a dinosaur fossil from a million years ago, man.
This is going to be huge for us.
Yeah, very.
Hey, man. Hey, what I talked about, just to hear you talk about Tennessee on paper, it sounds really good. And I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
On paper, what do you think our defense is? Top what? Top 70, top 80, top 50, top 60? Just on paper.
Gotcha.
Right off the top of your head.
Gotcha, Mark. Got to go break. And I'm going to write that down and touch on that in hour 2 here in the Swain event. 865-200-5503. Be right back.
If you love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the tournament, man. I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the back-to-school sale at Better Mattress happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The back-to-school bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress back-to-school bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with the representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
All right, it's time for Touchdown or Turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service here on the Swain event on a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. 3 days to kick off. Home of the Got Debt campaign, where you can pay, well, they pay you up to $500 for your debt at Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, atfcu.com. Touchdown or turnover, Tennessee will have a single running back go over 100 yards in this football game against West Virginia. Touchdown, turnover.
I go turnover, not because I don't think Tennessee's running back room will be productive, but I think they're going to really spread the carries around. I don't know that one guy is going to receive enough carries if he's averaging 4 or 5 yards a game to pick up 100 rushing yards. Now, granted, there's the chance that Ty Chandler, Tim Jordan, Mondre London break off for 70, 60 yanks. They all receive 7-10 carries apiece. I don't think that there's going to be one guy that's going to receive the bulk of the carry to get him to 100 yards. But as a unit, I think they rush for 150, 200 yards.
I'm saying touchdown, man. I think what you said about the long run, I think that will happen. I saw that in the Kansas State game. I'm looking at the Virginia Tech numbers here to see if it happened in this game. I think it happens. And the difference between Tennessee's running backs and Kansas State's running backs last year running against this defense is that those guys are slow. We have guys that can take it to the house. We have guys who are faster.
They're not former walk-ons.
Exactly. And so I think we do have one back go for over 100 yards, because I think we're going to run the ball more than 30 times. And if you just average 3 yards a carry,
simple. Yeah.
The math will tell you we can get 100 yards. I think we have one back that will get over 100 yards. I really, truly believe that. So I'm going touchdown. Let's go to the phones, and let me check my messages here. Let's get to...
I did not text you because it is the one and only Seth Stokes.
Seth Strokes is on the B-John Waterproofing Hotline. Stokes, what's up, man?
What's going on, my man?
Are you ready to go, man? Are you ready?
Buddy, I'm sniffing the air. Smells like football. I'm tasting the air. Tastes like football. Yeah. I'm ready to go.
Stokes, I got a question for you, man. I've been thinking about this, and I just played the Ninja Star YouTube video that's famous. You know, West Virginia's unofficial mascot. And
it's the Judy chop.
Exactly.
Karate chop.
Exactly.
Your ninja chop.
Exactly. That's their unofficial mascot. I got a question, man. How do you have a bald head and a ponytail at one time, like Dana Holgerson? How do you do that?
That's
impressive.
Talent.
That's impressive. Honestly. It's like a mullet and a bald head at once.
It's like a bald headed mullet. Yeah, like
it's pretty impressive, man.
That's his head is bald, but it identifies as hairy.
It's quite unique, man. It's quite unique.
So in this day and age, you know, it's whatever you identify as. So
it's kind of like a naked mole rat with patches of hair.
Yeah,
he's interesting. He looks like one of the characters from. Actually, I can't even think of the show now. Never mind. I forgot. My mind just went blank.
It's okay, man. Snap and clear,
but
Stokes.
Yeah. Oh God. I will say this: as far as the touchdown and turnover goes, I'm going to say touchdown. Jeremy Pruitt's been around a lot of women winning football. I think a Tennessee running back gets hot, and I get what Ben's saying. They spread the carries around, but that's only if you're getting just ho-hum production. But I think if a running back gets hot, you just keep feeding the beast. The offensive line's going to have to do its thing now. You know, that's been a question mark for gosh knows how long at Tennessee. So that gives me a little hesitation to say one back for over 100 yards. But I do think they'll get it done. I've got a lot of faith in this staff, a lot of faith in what they've been teaching these guys since they got here, and I think this is going to be kind of a nasty-looking offensive line in a good way. And if a back gets hot, they're smart enough to just keep feeding that beast. Don't take him off the field. Don't have a back get hot, and then it comes crunch time, and we're going to substitute him out because this is a package for somebody else. Oh, man, they're not stupid.
Stokes, touchdown turnover that you called today because you knew that Charlie Burris was on vacation.
Touchdown.
I actually had no idea Charlie Burris was on vacation. I didn't hear his voice. I was going to ask where Baby Shirt is.
Well, Baby Shirt is present today in the form of Ben McKee.
Yeah, Charlie let Ben borrow his little brother's shirt today.
I'm just trying to carry on the tradition. See, what had happened was I didn't realize how tight the shirt was until I got in the car this morning, and I did not feel like walking back inside and changing.
Yeah.
Did you not realize the shirt was tight when you put it on, or did you wait to put it on in the car?
Well, I kind of put it on.
I put a piece of clothing on. As soon as I put it on, I realized, hey, this might be too tight to wear out. And I take it off and put something else on.
Well, Ben got to the stoplight, and then he realized his arm was purple because he couldn't breathe, and that's when he realized the shirt was too small.
Like he was getting his blood pressure checked.
Yeah, like it was like a late effect, I guess. A delayed effect for Ben.
That's funny.
It's like, oh, I can't breathe. This shirt's so tight. Hey man, whatever.
Get a caller, towards the end of the last hour talking about 3-4, 4-3. What scheme are they going to play? And you're right. Pruitt's going to play whatever the guys can do. But in all honesty, I would rather see the guys play really, really fast and keep it simple and just let them out there and make plays because that's what they don't let the mind tie up the feet.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to get all cute with the defensive packages and those guys don't know what they're doing. So I don't care if it's 4-3 or 3-4 as long as they're playing fast and making plays. They can run base all day long as long as it's working.
That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
That's it. That is it.
Adapting, making adjustments, something that going into this game, I know we're going to see. Just like Ben's going to adapt. He's going to adjust. I mean, he's wearing his tight shirt. It can be used now for, shapewear, in the future.
Or I can just pack it away and use it for my kids one day.
Well, that, man, you can wear like a orange polo. You don't want to go top button, but you don't want the taco meat to show. You can wear that shirt underneath the polo, and it can help shape you. I know of a former Tennessee coach that used to wear shapewear underneath his clothes.
And what coach are you referring to?
For men?
Possibly. Yeah.
Manx.
Yeah. So it can work. 865-255-03. My man Stokes. I like the for what. I like the for what change there.
Oh, you like it for what?
Yeah, I like it.
Good. We got at this point we could probably put Dana Holgorsen on for what with all the crying and jaw jacking he's doing right now.
You think we should wait till after the game, or you think we should do it now?
Let's wait till Monday.
Oh no, we should wait till after the game for sure. Because if they put it on us,
then we need to be on the for what intro.
Yeah,
we'll just forget about it.
All right, Seth, I'm gonna talk my junk. I'm gonna talk my trash. I encourage Tennessee fans to do the same thing.
Spit your game, talk your ish.
Yeah, but there's a line of trash talking I don't think you want to cross before the game. You talk a little bit of trash, but after the game, that's when you really talk trash. Like Georgia game a couple years ago. We were talking trash because we hate Bulldogs. But after we got the win, oh man, TC in Athens was driving around playing Rocky Top with his windows down, boy. After that game, that's when you take it to another level of trash talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seth, are you going to be in Charlotte?
That is the plan. The plan is to be there. I think I'm going to go to the watch party hosted by one of the great number one that has donned a Tennessee jersey, and that's the great Leonard Little, one of my favorite Vols, and he still owes me lunch.
I'll let you take that up with him on Saturday.
That dude still owes me lunch from a bet from a couple years ago when the Falcons and the Rams played.
So he owes you lunch.
He still owes me lunch. He still ain't paid that bet.
Oh yeah, we gotta get that done. And I still have his hat. Remember we watched the Georgia game in 2014.
Yes. 13.
Was it 13? Yeah, 13.
13.
We watched it. Yeah, we watched the Georgia game in the RV on the Strip, and he left his hat, and I still have that hat. It's like 5 years later, so maybe I can return that to him this weekend.
That dude's been in town a few times since then too.
Seth, why you had to add all that? You had to add all that, man.
No, I mean
he was busy, man. I couldn't meet up with him. Listen, I can't wear the hat. No. When my last child was born, I think we used that as like, it's like the baby carrier. I mean, that hat's big, man. And I can say that because L called his own head big, so I can say that, folks. I'm not going to end up like the Auburn quarterback in the photo. Okay, we good.
Once someone makes fun of themselves, it's kind of
free game.
Exactly. When you call yourself ugly, I can call you ugly too. Then if you call your head big, I can say you got a big head too. So we're good. We're good. All right, Stokes, man. Thanks so much for calling in this morning. We look forward to seeing you, hanging out with you this weekend. I hope you have a driver, man. We're gonna have some good time.
Oh, you know it, brother.
All right, so Stokes. See you later, man. We'll take a break, and we'll be joined by Chris Lowe of ESPN coming up next here in the Swain event. So stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live.
Fresh off of his world tour is Chris Lowe, ESPN, joining us on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. His time is brought to us by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com, where they specialize in regenerative non-surgery orthopedics. Chris Lowe, man, it's good to have you back here in the God's country, the Lord's land. Chris Lowe, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. It's always great to be back home, man. Back with the family, back with the Swain event, back where I can have some great barbecue at Dead End. You know, I'm surprised. I do want to say this. I'm surprised that our man Ben, when you come on after every break, that he doesn't play Seeger's Hollywood Night.
Oh, here we go.
We'll have to start that for next week.
Oh, man. I'm afraid to even share with you what might happen this Friday in Charlotte. There may be a possibility that your friend Jason Swain, Chris Lowe, that he may be on the Paul Feinbaum show.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
I'm going to go ahead and set my DVR right now.
Yeah, it may be a small chance.
Not even calling in.
Yeah,
live in person.
Your boy might be on set, Chris Lowe. So,
well, if you're going to be in Charlotte, you're going to have to. That's the crib of the great Leonard Little. I hear Leonard's throwing a big party.
Yeah. I'm not going to the game. I'm actually going to the watch party. I would rather watch the party with Al Wilson and Leonard Little than actually go to the game. I'm sorry, judge me if you want to, but I'm going to be hanging out with Leonard Little there, and something that we've been talking about for months now. So I'm pumped about that. But yeah, there's a chance that I might be on a Feinbaum show on Friday evening. So
I'm glad you told me that, because I'm going to call Paul and get out your show and tell him as they bring you on to play Seeger's Hollywood Night as your intro.
Well, I got to make sure I get over there to Alumni Hall, get my gear ready, get ready to go. I got to be ready to go, man. I'm pumped about this game, and after a 4-8 season, it reminds me a lot of the 5-6 season we went through in 2005, and how everyone kind of doubted Tennessee and trashed Tennessee, and I was really happy to see a Tennessee down and struggling. And I remember being in that locker room and being one of the captains and leaders in that locker room, and really kind of spearheading this movement to help Tennessee get back on the map and remove all the selfishness from the locker room, remove all the me attitude, and do whatever it took to bring Tennessee back. And it seems like some of that is going on here at Tennessee. And you spent time at practice after you washed off the Auburn and Alabama funk. Chris Lowe, you hung out here in Knoxville, and you got cleansed at the campuses of Knoxville, and you got a chance to watch Tennessee's football practice. How do you think this team looks as far as physically, mentally, and emotionally heading into this game against West Virginia?
Rejuvenated, ready to go. I mean, I think it's been a tough physical camp for them. And the thing that I know Jeremy has tried really hard to create, going back to when he got the job, is competition in everything they do. The weight room, the off-season program, the practice field, tempo. I mean, you see guys from drill to drill. Everything's fast. Everything's up-tempo. And I'm not saying they're running an up-tempo offense, but you get my drift. And these guys are going after each other. And I had a chance to talk to some of the players. Eli Wolf, Kyle Phillips, Marquez Callaway. And the thing they said, all of them said, and again, unsolicited, because I just asked them, hey, what's it been like? What has Jeremy's stamp been? And every one of them said that he's brought an edge to the program, an edge to practice, an edge to the way we do things. Because I think in a lot of ways, he's tried to push them to the edge in the way they compete, the way they go after each other. That's the thing that jumped out at me. Now, they still got a lot of issues. They're thin in the defensive line. They really need everyone to stay healthy in the offensive line. Now, if they do that, I think the offensive line could be a strength for them, and Jeremy does too. I think Garantano's going to be your starter. I've thought that for a while. I know you have too. He just had a better camp. Just been more effective, makes more plays. But you know, there's some young guys and then some newcomers. The thing that Jeremy kept emphasizing to me, Jason, is this is a brand, almost a completely different looking football team than he had in the spring. There's so many new guys out there that were either hurt or limited in the spring. Newcomers, you know, like Dominic Wood Anderson. I mean, he looks to me as good as anybody on the team. He's about 270. He can run. He catches the ball. Just a real, you know, physical specimen. You know, Kirkland Jr.'s back out there. Trey Smith's back out there. Chance, I mean, none of those guys were there in the spring. So that's helped their competition. That's helped create competition. And you know, man, you talked about me washing the stench off from over in Alabama. well, guess what? Guess what the difference is at places like that? Certainly at Alabama. Competition on the practice field. Those guys make each other better. I mean, every day you're going to go up against a guy that may play in the NFL, certainly has a chance to play in the NFL, a guy that's at least that caliber of player. And that's what Jeremy's trying to build at Tennessee. But no, there's a lot of guys out there. I mean, and even some of the young guys. You know, the Taylor kid at quarterback is a really good play, really good-looking play. I mean, you didn't know it. And I'm not saying he's going to play this way, but if you go out there and watch him play, you think he played a year or so, you know, of college football. Bryce Thompson's another one. I think he may be a steal. They got him out of South Carolina. Gamecocks couldn't get him in. I think he's going to play a lot. So there's, as you look at them, there's a lot of holes. They don't have much depth at all in key spaces or just key spots. They're on both lines of scrimmage. But there's some younger players, and I like the way they're getting after each other, the way they're competing, the way Jeremy's pushing them. And I like his staff. I mean, you talk about Coach Swain was at the practice I was at, and he referred to their practices as a teaching classroom.
Yep.
And it's a loud, boisterous, tough-minded, physical teaching classroom. But like I said, and Jeremy's right in the middle of that classroom in everything they do.
Yeah. It's not a music classroom at all, because you know last year there was a ton of music and stuff like that, a lot of distractions. But it's all you hear is pads popping and coaches instructing, and that's all I hear when I go to practice. One of my favorite things in talking to people that talk to Jeremy Pruitt is the impersonations, the Jeremy Pruitt impersonations that they share with me. You've been with Pruitt a couple times, you've talked to him a few times, and I can only imagine what he said to you when he shared with you that he was going to be defensive coordinator, that he was going to call plays. Lo, you do a pretty good Steve Spurrier impersonation. You got a good Jeremy Pruitt one where he told you that he's gonna call plays on defense.
I don't know that I have a great one. I tell you, who's got a good Jeremy Pruitt impersonation is Austin Price. He's got him nailed. In fact, if I didn't know Austin's number and he calls me, I would think it was Jeremy. But Jason, we're gonna hit people. I promise you that. You know, when I coached high school football,
that's phenomenal.
We didn't care about who was starting. We cared about who finished the football game, and I promise you, Tennessee, we're gonna get back to being Tennessee.
Yes. Okay, Lo, first time being a head coach, he's going to call plays. How do you see that working out for him? I don't know how many coaches around the country call plays on offense and defense, but I know Jimbo Fisher, Dan Mullen, guys like that have on offense. Derek Mason did a little bit on defense. He's not doing it anymore. What other coaches out there call plays, and how do you see this kind of shaping up for Pruitt, first time being a head coach, and he's calling plays in his first game?
Well, I think Gary Patterson used to call my defensive plays, and he still may call some of them, but he's another one on defense that did, and did it quite well. As you know, Gary's as good a coach as there is in football. It'll be a challenge because, as you know, and I've said this, to me, the steepest learning curve for Jeremy is wearing all the different hats he has to wear as a head coach. And that really gets once you get into the season, all the different things you have to manage players, manage your staff, manage the game, clock management, decisions you make during the game. When you're calling defensive plays, when you're so involved in that part of it, it's hard to be involved in a lot of other things. I think that's going to be the toughest challenge for him. But I think the good part of it for Tennessee fans is, who else would you really want calling defensive plays than Jeremy Pruitt? I mean, that's what he's done. That's what he does. It's just like I told Spurrier one time. Remember back when Spurrier decided he was going to delegate play calling responsibility with South Carolina, and he let some other people do it for a while. And I remember sitting down with him when I was there, and I looked at him, I said, "Steve, why are you not calling play?" I'm not going to delegate you. And I looked at him, I said, Steve Spurrier not calling plays on offense is like going to concert to see Eric Clapton, and Clapton announced, "You know what, I'm just going to sing today. I'm not going to play the guitar." And now, Steve Spurrier is one of the greatest play callers in the history of college football. Jeremy obviously is, I don't think put him on that level calling defensive plays, but he's done it well, he's done it at a high level, and he's done it on a lot of big stages. All right? So I guess I should say all right. But
all right.
Who would you, at this point, as they make this transition, who would you want over and above Jeremy calling defensive plays, at least to start out?
I mean, after watching that Bama game and watching what he's done in Florida State, Georgia, I don't really want anybody else calling plays, to be honest, on defense. So we'll see how he handles his responsibilities as a head coach, being able to decide what to do on fourth downs and what to do with timeouts and how to manage the game as a head coach while also being a play caller on defense. So we will see here in about 3 days.
Let me tell you a story before I get out of here about Jim. It, to me, sort of tells you, it cuts to the core who he is. When I was with him, it was last Friday. And driving to work that morning, I think he was talking to a buddy of his that maybe he went to school with or played with or actually coached with in high school. Which is 12 years ago, Jeremy was still coaching high school football.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, they were talking, and he said, you remember what we were doing 12 years ago to the day? And he's like, you know what? And they were sort of reminiscing about it. He said, that morning we were plumbing a house. And then later that night, we went and coached in the high school football game. And now, here 12 years later, he's getting ready to coach in his first SEC game as a head coach. So it's been a 12-year whirlwind for him. But to me, that kind of background, and I love, and there's a lot more coaches like this now that have come up through the high school ranks, because I think you relate better to the kids. You understand. You have to do, as a high school coach, you do everything.
Everything.
And to me, that's a pretty cool story and a pretty telling story about who Jeremy Pruitt is. He's as blue-collar and as hands-on as it gets. And just like Marquez Callaway and Eli Wolf told me, he does have an edge, brings an edge. We'll see how that edge evolves in his program. Because he is a little bit of a bull in a china shop. That could be good, that could be bad. But I think where Tennessee's program is right now, they needed that.
Chris, folks loved you about 5 minutes ago when you did your Jeremy Pruitt impression. Let's see how much they love you now, because I'm going to ask you, who do you have winning this football game on Saturday and why?
Well, I think West Virginia's a better team. I think they're better. They got, they're loaded at receiver, man. And, of course, we know what kind of quarterback, Tennessee fans know what kind of quarterback Wilbur is. Tennesse'd have to play a really perfect game to win. And by that, I mean win the turnover margin, run the football. I'm going to pick West Virginia, but I think Tennessee will be in the game. The thing that Tennessee will do, I think, is establish the run game and run the football a little bit and try to keep him off the field. I'm talking about Will Grier. But if it gets on up into if this is a 30-something, if they have to score 30-plus points to beat these guys, I think that's going to be a tall order, Jason. Now, if Tennessee can muddy it up and keep the ball and possess it, create some turnovers, then I think they've got a chance. But I think seeing's believing, and I do think Tennessee will be better, and I think they will compete in just about every game they play this year. But it's hard for me to pick them right out of the gate. Let's wait a couple of weeks. I just think West Virginia's got too much firepower. I don't think West Virginia's great on defense, which is why I think Tennessee will be able to run the ball a little bit. But right out of the gate, I'll have to, even though it'd be cool to see Tennessee win in his debut, I got to pick the Mountaineers. You got to pick who you think's going to win, not who you hope's going to win.
Chris, I'm so disappointed in you, man. I've never been more disappointed, Chris.
So you're telling me you got the Vols all the way back.
I got the Vols winning, Chris. I feel like this will be it won't be the same as 2006, Kyle, but I think these guys will come out, and I think they're going to shock the world. It may be close. It may be not. I don't care.
And maybe it'll be like, you mentioned the 05 to 06 transition. Maybe it'll be like that Cal game.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be like that.
Well, but remember, the circumstances were similar. Cal was ranked. Tennessee was coming off a really bad year. Now, there wasn't a coaching change. The game was at Neyland Stadium, and Tennessee just jumped on Cal and just obliterated them. And obviously, that was a game that sort of spurred that turnaround that year. So maybe this will be that kind of game. I think both teams are going to have a lot of fans there. So it's an easy trip for West Virginia, easy trip for Tennessee. One thing, I'm glad Tennessee's playing a game like this out of the gate. It's not like a glorified scrimmage. We have a pretty good idea right away where Tennessee is as a football team. And I think that's a good thing for this team, especially as Jeremy takes over.
I like it. Chris Lowe, you're the man as always. I saw where you snuck over there at Dead End Barbecue, and you didn't call me. You didn't invite me. I appreciate that. Appreciate that friendship there, sir.
Well, you know what? I tell you what. If I'm wrong and the Vols win, next Monday, let's see, Monday's Labor Day. Next week, Dead End is on me. How about that?
No,
you got me on the record, on the air.
Okay.
If I'm wrong and the Vols win, which won't be a bad thing, then Dead End's on me. And be sure when you're over there at the watch party in private to tell number 1 and number 27 that I said hello.
All right, I will. I got you. I got to get Austin Price on the line now, man, so he can do a Jeremy Pruitt impression.
Oh, he's a lot better.
To beat you, man. That'd be good. So it's on record. If Tennessee wins, Chris Lowe owes me Dead End Barbecue, even though it's my turn to pay. Because last time you paid for me and Chris Lofton when we went. Even if it's my time to pay, you're going to take care of the Dead End bill.
You can even bring your bride, and I'll pay for hers too.
Ooh, we getting the most expensive thing on the menu.
Ribs, St. Louis ribs, baby.
We getting everything. Dessert, appetizer. We're not drinking water with lemon. We getting a real drink. Oh, it's on, Chris Lowe. It's on. All right, Chris. Thank you so much for your time, man. Appreciate it.
You see you guys.
See you.
Bye.
Chris Lowe, ESPN here. His time is brought to you by Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine here on the Swain event. They treat damaged ligaments, tendons, joints, including rotator cuff surgeries, knee instability, elbow and foot problems by injecting with stem cells, PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma. This form of treatment is performed under ultrasound guidance, so you know exactly the areas where they're injecting and why they're injecting in the areas. And by doing so, it stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows the healing of damaged tissue. You're seeing these techniques being used at the college level at major programs. We saw Steph Curry, we saw Tiger Woods, we saw Kobe Bryant use these methods years ago when they were trying to get back on the field, get back on the playing course as quick as possible without having surgery. And so that is available right here in East Tennessee at Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. They are the leader in this industry, folks. The leader. Dr. Carlson, he's been studying this. He left his practice. He used to work and be a doctor, a family physician at Summit Medical Group. But he started to research how these methods have helped athletes and helped everyday people. And he was so moved and intrigued by PRP and this new technology is that he went out on his own, created Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, and he is leading the industry. So there's people trying to do some of the same things now because it's popular, but him, his father, they have years and years and years of knowledge with these techniques. And so give them a call, go to their website. They worked on me. Dr. Carlson, I had a knee that was tore up. I had an ankle that bothered me all the way from 2007 where I played with a high ankle sprain and realized I had some real damage there with my foot. And we went in and we did the injections, and they were not responding at first. So we went in with a ultrasound, and he saw where the pain was, and we went in with the PRP. It's where they take your blood, they spin it down, they take the platelets, the plasma platelets off of the blood, and they re-inject back into the injured ligaments. And within days, I felt relief, and I have been great ever since. And so
a lot of athletes do that to avoid surgery during the season. I know Aroldis Chapman, closer for my Yankees right now, he actually just had a PRP injection over the weekend. It's kind of hoping that he'll get back on the mound here soon.
Yes, it is a technique that hopefully with some changes there at Tennessee that they use Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, because I know if I was a player, I would want to be using TRSM as well. I really would be. Really good business there, and they do a great job. And again, that's not just for athletes. If you have any problems with ligaments, you don't want surgery, you don't need surgery, go see Dr. Carlson at Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. Be right back.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices, and during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted, like a new Silverado, now 25% off, a new Equinox, now 20% off, and a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GMF. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Huge thanks to Chris Lowe for joining us and giving us the Jeremy Pruitt impersonation. It's fun, man. It's radio, it's sports, it's fun. We love ourselves a coach that sounds like us. And Pruitt sounds like a Southerner. I love listening to Jeremy Pruitt talk about football. With that accent, I love hearing a Southern football coach talk about football. Ain't just Pruitt. I just love when a country boy's talking football. And Pruitt is certainly that.
Definitely beats the Northerner trying to pretend like he knows about football and talking.
Correct. For those who are wondering, Charlie will be out this week. He's on vacation.
And next week.
So, yeah, timing is weird, but it was a vacation that was planned years and years ago with his family, and he is with his family on vacation. So, I don't think this game was even scheduled when they planned their vacation in 2018. So, that is where Charlie Burris is. But if you want to, tweet him and give him crap about being on vacation, first game of the season against West Virginia, then feel free to do it.
Unfortunately, folks have to deal with me a little bit more the next week and a half.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I think we may have a Brad Matthews sighting in the studio next week, though. His last day of class that he's been taking this month is on Friday. Okay. So maybe Brad will stop in here a couple times next week.
All right, well, we'll do it, man. We'll do it. At the end of the day, we'll have ourselves a good show here in the Swain event, but that is a personnel update. Burris is on vacation.
Well, if all these you've been talking, I know you don't think you have, but you've low-key been talking cash money about this football game for about the past week and a half. And if
not as much as I could.
Not as much as how you really feel. I know how you really feel, and you're really holding back. But if what you continue to say does come true, I think we'll have plenty to talk about next week.
You mean with Tennessee winning?
Yes.
I think Tennessee's going to win. I mean, everything that I've seen from practice, and I'm watching West Virginia, I see where Tennessee can exploit West Virginia. I don't think Chris Lowe is wrong in the reasons why he picked West Virginia. Yeah, they are explosive. They are good on offense. I played on some really good offenses that we couldn't get off the ground during the game because our quarterbacks couldn't find us because he was running for his life. I remember playing Florida in 2006, and, you go watch the film of the wide receivers versus their DBs. Man, we were torching those guys. But you don't know that because our quarterbacks was getting pressured, sacked, rattled, couldn't deliver the ball. And Florida won the game.
I asked you this question earlier in a break. Obviously, David Sills is 6'4". They have another receiver, 6'5", that they like to go to in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's corners, Alante Taylor, is 6 foot. The rest of them are listed as 5'11". As a smaller DB, height-wise, going up against a rather large receiver, what do they need to do to kind of make up for the height difference?
Great technique. And what I mean by that is when the wide receivers, you have a little switch in your head as a DB of when to look for the ball, when to rake the basket of the wide receivers. What I mean by that is when a wide receiver goes up to catch a ball, both hands go up, creates a little basket, and you rake down right between those two hands when their hands go up. That is your indicator that they're getting ready to catch the ball, because we're taught as wide receivers is to catch the ball at the last split second, the last 6 inches. And so as a DB, that is your indicator. That is your alarm to tell you, okay, get your hands in there and get the ball out. Wide receivers who are that tall, they have an advantage when it comes to the red zone and 50-50 balls, but they have a disadvantage sometimes when they're going up against press because they're so tall, they have to make sure that their body level was low enough to where they take their chest away from the DB, because the DB wants to put both hands on both of your chest plates. That's ideal for a DB. Well, for a taller receiver, there's more area for the DB to hit, more area for the DB to grab and pull or whatever. If you are a tall receiver, now you have to bend down to a level that takes away your chest from the DB. Now, I expect a guy like David Sills, who is I think it was a junior or senior?
Senior.
He's a senior. I expect him to be technically sound. I expect him to go out there and make sure that he doesn't give his chest away. He's an experienced wide receiver. But I also expect our DBs, being coached by T. Fair, being coached by Pruitt and Charles Kelly, I expect our DBs to be technically sound and being able to time well our jumps. If Seals jumps at the right time, and if our guys jump at the same time, we have to make sure if Seals is 6'4" and Alante is 6 foot, then Alante's vertical needs to be 4 inches better than Seals. That's why it's important to have a DB that either has long arms or has a great vertical, because that can offset maybe some height differences. For instance, if Seals is 6'4" and he jumps, Alante jumps at the same time. If Alante can scratch the bottom of his kneecap standing up and has a 5-inch vertical advantage over Seals, guess who's going to touch the ball first? That's Taylor, depending on the position of the players. So I don't necessarily look at the height and go, oh, well, the advantage goes to the receiver or the advantage goes to DB because he's taller than the other. It is, what is your vertical? What is the length of your hands or your arms? The timing of your jump. Those things play a huge part in defending a taller wide receiver. So if we in the red zone and Alante Taylor jumps late, oh, it's over. It's a wrap. We're talking, not a 4-inch difference. We're talking this 8-inch difference.
Yeah, because you mentioned the vertical. David Seals has long, lanky arms as well, so that may offset the advantage that Alante would have if he times his jump perfectly. If Alante has long arms that scrape his knees and has a great vertical. Refresh my memory. Did you play with a 6'4", 6'5" receiver at Tennessee?
Chris Hannon was I want to say 6'4".
What I'm asking is, in the end zone, when you know that they're going to try to throw that fade to David Seals or the younger guy that they have, that 6'4", 6'5", is mine slipping my name at the moment. How do they shade the coverage to that side? How much help do you think that maybe they'll help out Alante or Bryce Thompson or Baylon Buchanan in the end zone?
Well, the whole purpose of having a deep wide receiver group is to not allow the defense to be able to double team one player and not attack him on the other side with different players. So let's just say that Tennessee guesses right, and they say, okay, we have looked at West Virginia's tendencies in 2017, and we know that 50% of their fade routes go to David Seals. And let's take a guess here, and we're going to go help out whoever's guarding David Seals. The way we need to handle the jump ball is when you jump into the body of the wide receiver. College will let you play a little bit more physical. What you don't want to do is get so far inside because you're trying to take the slant away, which is the #1 rule. You always take the inside slant away because it's the easiest throw. But you don't want to find yourself being so far inside that all David Seals has to do is just run to the corner pylon and Will Greer throw it to the corner pylon and he just catches it. You want a jump ball situation where it's physical and you're bodying David Seals up. You're bodying him up, and if you just tip it, up, you're going to have guys coming to the ball. You're going to have a Najee Warrior, Micah Abernathy. You're going to have linebackers because they're chasing the ball. That's what they're taught on defense. As soon as that ball is thrown, run to the ball because you never know if you're going to get a tip pass or something like that. So I'm not petrified by the jump ball because I know we have guys who teach it well how to defend it, and we have some athletes who can defend it too. Now, if they are successful on a few during the game, then obviously I'm going to be more concerned. But
if they are successful, do you think about moving Najee Warrior, Micah Abernathy out there?
Nope.
More physical guys?
Nope.
You just let them live and learn?
Because it's not like basketball where Nate Robinson or Isaiah Thomas is playing point guard, and you go, okay, here's some guys who are less than 6 foot. Let's put them in a pick and roll, and then the guy who, when they switch, we're gonna put Nate Robinson and Isaiah Thomas in a post to defend.
Right.
You could do that all game long. You could exploit that matchup all game long. I'm sorry, how many times are you gonna be in the red zone? How many times are you really going to throw up some jump ball 50-50 balls in the course of a game? You're not, because sometimes those balls will get tipped. They're going to get picked off.
Yep.
So I just don't see where you're going to have 5 or maybe even 3 jump ball goal line situations. I just don't see that. I don't see it a lot, and I don't think we're going to see it that much on Saturday. You may have 1 or 2. You may have 3, but I don't see us having more than 3. I don't think it's going to be a pick and roll. Let's put Isaiah Thomas in the post all game long. I don't think it's going to be like that at all. All right, we got For What coming up next.
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
There is a 30% chance of rain today, mainly after 5, mostly sunny with a high of 89 and a low of 72. Tomorrow, the chance of showers increases to 50%, partly sunny with a high of 88 and a low of 69. Friday, there is a 40% chance of precipitation with a high in the upper 80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1-year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
Dan Mullen posing awkwardly with recruits.
For what?
Gators working out wearing costumes.
For what?
Vanderbilt making a sorority-style video.
For what?
Aaron Murray and David Pollock opening their mouths.
For what?
Man, I hope we win some games this year because we doing a lot of trash talking. Whew. On For What? A lot of trash talking about West Virginia. Man, I hope we win. We got to win some games this year, folks. We got to win some games. All right. Speaking of trash talk, Ben, what do you have for What today?
So this week, Kentucky opens with Central Michigan, former home of the one and only Lyle Allen Jones. And Chippewa's star running back Jonathan Ward said that he's never heard of Benny Snell, Kentucky's star running back. He said, "I don't know him. I don't think there's anything too special." Mr. Ward, Benny Snell led the SEC in rushing yards, carries, and rushing touchdowns last season, and led the conference in those stats in a league where Nick Chubb was in the league, Sony Michel was in the league, Darius Geis was in the league, Bo Scarborough, and plenty. John Kelly. I mean, come on now. You're really going to talk trash about arguably the best running back in the SEC the week of the game? I fully expect Benny Snell to rush for 200 rushing yards this weekend against Central Michigan, about 4 touchdowns. I think Mark Stoops has this quote pinned in Benny Snell's locker, and he is going to hand the ball to him 25, 30 times. So, Central Michigan, you get it for what? For running your mouth.
Jonathan Ward is a running back for Central Michigan. I repeat, Central Michigan.
And he is pretty good. Rushed for 1,000 yards last year, 470 receiving yards, and 13 touchdowns. But to your point, at Central Michigan in the back.
Central Michigan. Pump your brakes. First of all, it would be one thing if you were a defensive player, because you can actually do something about it. You can actually back up your comments. But you are an offensive player, which makes this so terrible because you can't even do anything about it. All you're doing is writing a check for other folks to have to cash. You're writing a check for your defense to have to cash. That's like me and you, Ben, rolling up a dead end like we did yesterday, and then going out on the town. We're hanging out, having a Jack Daniels or two, and you go up to the biggest dude in the bar and go, "Hey, man, my friend Swain will take you right now." Wait a minute. No, I didn't sign up for that. I don't want any trouble. I don't want any problems. No. I ain't got time for that. You signing me up for fights that I ain't signed up for. That's what this guy did. Jonathan Ward. Keep your mouth closed, man. Play on offense. You can't even do anything about it. Benny Snell's gonna light those boys up now. Just dumb. Hour 3 coming up around the corner. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
If you love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the comments, man. I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Real on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Having surgery can be scary, and having to navigate around a massive medical center can be even more overwhelming. Fortunately, the premier office-based surgery center in Knoxville offers a convenient and affordable option for surgical care. Our skilled surgeons and friendly staff treat you just like family. Everything at our state-certified accredited center is designed with your comfort in mind, and Premier offers flat fee, package pricing for basic gallbladder and hernia procedures. Visit PremierSurgeryPackages.com for more details. The Premier Office-Based Surgery Center. Surgical expertise you can trust.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus, 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
All right, get game day ready with Alumni Hall. I know I have to get myself some new fresh threads for Charlotte, some new Tennessee gear, some Tennessee gear that actually fits Ben, so you may need to come with me to Alumni Hall.
If you're paying, I'm glad to come.
Paper Mill, Turkey Creek, Westtown Mall, right here in Knoxville. You can shop online at alumnihall.com. Fast delivery. So you may be able to slip in a delivery order before the game on Saturday. There may be a chance, maybe, it's not confirmed, that maybe on Firebomb Show. Maybe. If that's the case, you better believe I got to get some new thread.
Now, everybody has a game day outfit. What is Jason Swain's game day outfit, and does it include orange? Because we know you're a big component of wearing black all the time, as you are all blacked out today as we speak, because of course.
Hey, Jay-Z said all black everything.
Hey, I'm nothing wrong with it. Do you find Tennessee apparel that has a power tee on like a black polo? Is that your go-to, or do you find a white polo with an orange tee or an orange polo with a white tee or vice versa?
Well, I got a couple black polos. I got the one with the state of Tennessee, that's checkerboard.
Very nice. Very nice.
I do have a black shirt with the Tennessee helmet that looks sweet on it. By the way, I need to find out. I know where it's at. I used to have the Adidas white with the orange back, the 3 stripes across the front. It was actually what the coaches wore the first season. I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Did Butch give you that one?
No, he didn't give me that at all, but I don't know where it is. I need to find it. And I also have a white Volunteer Traditions, white
very nice.
and orange shirt with the rifleman on the front. That's sweet. I'm going to go to Alumni Hall, and I'm thinking about getting one of each. White, orange. Because I already have black, I'm probably going to go
get a navy blue. The navy blue's clean. You don't like the navy? Not a fan?
I mean, I don't like it. I just don't want to buy it.
You can't buy it this week because, especially with West Virginia wearing a shade of navy blue.
Yeah, I'll wear it.
And ETSU next week is a shade of navy blue.
Yeah, they both got the same.
UTEP the week after that.
Yeah, I would wear it, but when I'm exchanging money for goods, I prefer to pay for either a white, orange, or black or smoky gray.
I think you should wear something orange on Feinbaum on Friday, though.
Yeah, I think so too. So, if that happens or not, no pressure, Paul. No pressure, Paul.
Paul's too busy fighting against the Big Ten folks right now.
He needs some help, man. Bring me on. I'll help you. I'll get that Urban Meyer for you. I can't wait to get that Urban Meyer. That's right. I'll help you, Paul. It'll be 2-on-1 tag team.
You know who the happiest Big Ten member is right now? Michigan State, because Mark D'Antonio was in a whole lot of hot water until Urban Meyer got in trouble. And now all you hear is, oh, Michigan State has an underrated football team. I could see them making the playoffs.
Michigan's happy, too.
They need to send gift baskets to Ohio State.
Yeah, gift baskets to Rick McMurphy.
True.
All right, let's get to Kenny on line 1. Kenny, good morning.
What's up, man? Listen, usually I don't call and talk stuff, but I got to talk stuff. How dare y'all say that we're similar to West Virginia in any kind of way, man? You know, if you want to say hillbilly, hey, we're progressive hillbillies, dude. We're not backwater hillbillies. You feel me? Man, well, listen, we got Dollywood. We got the Elvis Mansion, man. We got Music City, Nashville. What do they got in West Virginia?
Okay, you got a point. I mean, they may drink their water. They may drink their water out of a creek with their hands. We drink our water out of a mason jar. So a little different.
That's what I'm talking about. A little different, man.
Gotcha.
Hey, West Virginia fans, we're gonna put a mud hole in them Saturday, so they can go ahead and back off, walk up there, and show them what's the business. That's all I gotta say.
I like it. Hey, they may get their dates at their family reunions. We get our dates from farmersonly.com. We country too. It's just a little different level of country. I got you, Kenny. I got what you're saying. 865-200-5503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline this morning. And coming up, we'll be joined by Jed Drenning, who calls plays, but he calls the games for West Virginia. His Twitter account is the Signal Caller. He doesn't call plays. He calls the game, and his Twitter account is the Signal Caller. So I'll try not to talk trash a little bit. I know West Virginia fans, they have every right to talk trash. They got a really good football team. They have a great quarterback. They have a team that's been constructed and built for years and years under Dana Holgorsen. Dana Holgorsen is a good coach. He really is. He's confident. He has some swagger to him. I like that about college coaches. They have a personality. Dana Holgorsen certainly has that. But we will talk to Jed Drenning coming up next. And you got a chance to talk to him a good amount of time last night on the phone. What did y'all talk about, man?
We talked about the Tennessee-West Virginia game. He has an interesting story to where I want to say he said he's from West Virginia, but then he went and played quarterback at Sanford down near our neck of the woods.
Yeah, in Birmingham.
And while he was at Sanford, Jimbo Fisher was the offensive coordinator. So first he was kind of getting his start in coaching, and Jed Drenning was one of his quarterbacks. And then he transferred to West Virginia, and I believe that was when Rich Rod had first taken over West Virginia. So played under Rich Rod, I believe. And then he transferred to like a D2 school to kind of finish out his career. But while he was at West Virginia, he roomed with Tony Gibson, West Virginia's current defensive coordinator. So he has several ties, just vast knowledge of West Virginia. The first thing he said was, man, I wish this game was in Neyland because I've been wanting to get down there for forever. I'm a big fan of the neutral site games, but I'd much rather this be a home and home to where we can come down to Neyland and y'all can come up here to Morgantown. I couldn't agree more because I would love to go to Morgantown and see just how crazy their fans are.
Yeah, that would be good, man, if it was a home and home. Maybe they can get that done. And before we make that trip to Morgantown, we got to make sure we get our rabies shots. 865-200-5503, and we'll be joined by Jed Drenning here coming up in a few minutes. 865-200-5503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Taking a look at the text box. Volfan 1987 says, on our first drive, I want to see Tennessee run the ball till we put it over the top in the goal line. Let's see here. A King VFL in North Carolina says, I believe you are referring to a skullet, the bald head with the mullet. That's a skullet. That is right.
Volstorm mentioned that on Twitter as well. That made me laugh. The skullet.
Kool-Aid Guy 54. What do you guys think of the new fair catch rule? That is on kickoffs where the returner can opt to fair catch the ball. Let's say he's inside of his own 25, and let's say he's on the 10, and he wants to fair catch it. He can fair catch it, and the ball will be placed on the 20 or 25-yard line, which I think is a stupid rule. And who in their right mind would fair catch one of those kicks? If you are Ty Chandler, in what world would you fair catch that kick? Unless you are up multiple scores and you don't want any chance of the defense stripping the ball away or the kickoff returns team stripping the ball away. So you're just told just to catch it. We're going to put the ball in 25, and then we're going to kneel and win the game. That would be the only reason I see why a kickoff return guy would want to fair catch it, because every kickoff return guy wants to score a touchdown.
Yeah, I think the rule is great for safety reasons, but as far as pure football, I kind of question it. Volgoose tweeted at us and wanted us to get to his question on the text box. He has an interesting comment/question. He says, our defensive line is full of seniors that were not developed. We're hoping they've been developed by now, but I doubt Tracy Rocker. Does anybody know why he was unemployed before we hired him? I could be wrong, but I don't have a lot of faith in his development. Georgia didn't really get good at that position until he left.
Tracy Rocker.
Correct.
Say that one more time. I was reading the text box. That he was out of
defensive line, full of seniors, not developed, and now Tennessee fans are hoping they're developed under
Okay,
Tracy
I got
Rocker. But he kind of doubts it because Tracy Rocker was unemployed before he got to Tennessee, and that Georgia defensive line really wasn't that good until he left.
He was at Georgia from 14 to 2016.
Correct. So I guess he's speaking to last year, which
yeah. So last year in 2017 was out. And so what is the reason why he was out in 2017? Honestly, I have no clue. I do know that he was at Auburn. I do know he coached in the league with the Tennessee Titans. And if you coach in the league at a position, you know how to coach that position. So that is an interesting comment there. We will see how it plays out this Saturday because we know how important the defensive line is going to have to be to win this football game. So if they don't play well, then I think it's fair to look at Tracy Rocker because this is an experienced defensive line group.
And Valgus said he wasn't trying to be negative. He was just curious as to what your opinion was going to be on that, and because the defensive line is going to have a big game on Saturday.
Man, that's fair. I think that was Kirby Smart's first year when Tracy Rocker was at Georgia. I don't know how much I would put on Tracy in that situation there and question his coaching abilities, especially if he goes from Georgia to the Tennessee Titans. That's hard for me to – I'm sorry. He came from the Tennessee Titans to Georgia. It's hard for me to question his coaching at the defensive line position. But I said this yesterday, and I will be a hypocrite if I do not say this, and that is if the defensive line does not impact this football game, I'm going to be really disappointed because 7 of these guys, the front 7, they are 4-year players or more. The only player that's been here less than 4 years is Daniel Batuli, who is one of our best defensive players. And if they don't impact Will Grier, if they don't control the line of scrimmage and stop the run and put pressure on Will Grier, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. And that's not just the players. That's coach involved too. Tracy Rocker and the entire defensive line room, I'm going to be disappointed. No doubt about it. 865-255-03. We will talk to Jed Drenning coming up after the break. He is their sideline reporter there at West Virginia. So stick around. Stay tuned. Swain Event. We'll be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Gentlemen, when it comes to health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I recommend going to Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low T in men. Listen to me here. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Game week, 3 games to kick off between Tennessee and West Virginia in the Belk College kickoff there in Charlotte, North Carolina. West Virginia, a team that is very explosive on offense, a defense that is probably underrated. You know, if you ask them, it feels like they have a lot to prove, and a coach that has proven that he can coach at this level. And West Virginia is picked by a lot of folks to do some big things this year. And we bring on Jed Drenning, who is a sideline reporter for West Virginia, to come on today. Has a really cool story. Had a good conversation with Ben McKee last night, and really looking forward to talking with you, Jed, this morning. So good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, Jason. I'm glad to be here. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. One thing I enjoy about college football is the lighthearted trash talk between two fan bases. And with the expansion of the SEC back in 2012, I really felt like West Virginia was a really great candidate to join the conference because West Virginia really has a lot in common with a lot of other SEC fan bases and SEC programs, and we understand the money part of it, of why Missouri and Texas A&M was added to the conference. But I see a lot of similarities between West Virginia and Tennessee. Do you see some of those similarities?
I'd agree with that. And back when that transition took place, it seemed like before we ended up landing in the Big 12, it seemed like every other day that another SEC rumor seemed to surface. But, of course, none of them reached fruition. But from a parallel standpoint, I completely agree. When you look at the fan bases, they're rabid. They travel well. You're talking about a bunch of land-grant universities that put a priority on their sports. They're passionate about it. And I think that those kind of things we share in common with those SEC fan bases.
Jed, how do you, as a former player, I played at Tennessee now, we're on the microphones and calling games or giving our commentary on games. How do you try to put the fandom to the side? Because I look at this football game, and I'm sure you see a lot of advantages in West Virginia's favor, and I see some advantages in Tennessee's favor. And, of course, at the end of the day, I want Tennessee to win and you want West Virginia to win. But how do you handle that, with your playing background now that you're in the media?
To be honest with you, Jason, I try and break things down in much the same way I did as a player.
Yeah.
As an old quarterback, one of my favorite parts of playing the position was the prep that went into preparing for what you were going to do on Saturday, the scouting, the breaking down the tape, the studying the personnel and the tendencies and the nuances. And I've kind of carried that over into a broadcast career, and I still try and do that from an analytics standpoint and break down what the opponent looks like, what their strengths and weaknesses are. And in doing so, I think that you come to appreciate and value what that opponent is in fact capable of, and that's exactly how I feel going into this Tennessee game.
What do you see in Tennessee? Because I've sat here and I've watched West Virginia against Iowa State and Kansas State of last year, and plan on watching that game from Virginia Tech and Texas last year. What do you see from this Tennessee team as you watch Tennessee and kind of prepare like you did as a player?
Well, first and foremost, when you watch Tennessee last year, other than maybe trying to learn the strengths and weaknesses of a couple personnel spots, you can kind of toss that out the window. It's a fresh start. So what we've been doing is watching some Georgia tape, some Alabama tape from a scheme standpoint, USC tape, Western Kentucky, on down the line. But I look at Tennessee as a program a year ago that simply couldn't catch a break. You couldn't stay healthy. You were really banged up. You were a mass unit. You're getting everybody back this week, not just from last year, but you got 2 or 3 guys back from 2 years ago. I think that LSU game, when you went into that in that monsoon, you were down to 4 scholarship O linemen, and all 4 of them were freshmen. You had a fifth, another guy that was a walk-on. That's not what we're going to see on Saturday, and I don't think we're under that delusion. I don't think we're going to see a Tennessee football team. A year ago, you finished dead last in the SEC against the run. You guys know that better than anybody. I will buy a golden fiddle if that happens under Jeremy Pruitt this year. That is out the window. That's not going to happen. It's a fresh start. I see talented athletes at almost every turn. I see guys that are playmakers. And now what I fully expect, when you integrate the leadership that Jeremy Pruitt is going to bring and that staff that he's assembled, I expect those guys to play their potential, and we better be ready for a street fight on Saturday.
Jed Drenning here on the Swain event. Jed, sideline reporter for West Virginia. These Tennessee fans, for the last couple of years, they've heard a coach make tons of excuses. You know, last year heading into the Georgia Tech game, you know, our coach last year talked about 3 games in 13 days, and oh my gosh! And as a player, you know, you don't ever want to hear your coach give you an out.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt like Butch Jones gave our players an out to make an excuse. And when I heard Dana Holgorsen kind of talk about the unfair practice time, although it is a valid point, I kind of felt that the same way I felt last year when Butch Jones was making those comments. How does Dana make sure that, yeah, he's pointing out maybe some unfair advantages, but trying to make sure that his players don't listen to that and take those as an excuse or a reason not to go out there and perform their job?
I mean, Dana will be the first to tell you that at the end of the day, nobody cares.
Yep.
And that's what he preaches to these kids. I remember when we joined the Big 12, that first year in the league, we had back-to-back trips to Austin and then Lubbock in back-to-back weeks. Every time you turn around, we were jumping on a plane, it seemed to consecutive weeks, taking these long flights to the other side of the country. And when everybody wanted to complain about it, Dana was the first to jump forward and say, look, it's still a football game. Whether you're jumping on a plane for 2 or 3 hours to go to Florida and play the South Florida Bulls, or you're jumping on a plane for 2 or 3 hours to go to West Texas and play the Red Raiders, it's still a plane trip and a football game. I don't want to hear that nonsense. I'm not about excuses, so take care of it. Nobody outside the building is going to care anyway. So I think you're onto something there, and I think kids do pick up on that, and Dana plays to that. He won't accept excuses. I mean, he might talk about something, but in the confines of that building, at the end of the day, he'll be the first to tell them, nobody cares. You have to overcome whatever is thrown before you. Otherwise, nobody's even going to look at you.
I heard that defensive coordinator Tony Gibson was your roommate, and I've been studying, you know, his defense, running a 3-3-5, and I know some of that decision of playing a 3-3-5 comes with recruiting and really the lack of being able to go out and get some of the same players that Alabama and Florida State and some of those programs are able to get with the big-time defensive tackles. What's so unique about the 3-3-5, and why do you think Tony Gibson, your former roommate, loves this defense so much?
Well, first and foremost, I think if you ask Gibby, he's looking for a season opener in which we know what's coming. I mean, back in 2014, his first game here, it was Lane Kiffin's first game at Alabama, so that was a lot of guesswork. He faced that Missouri staff in their first game. This year we're facing a new staff in their first game. So it's like, look, I'd like to spend a summer doing something other than guessing what I'm going to face in my season opener. But at the end of the day, I think what the odd stack does, and you just touched on it, Jason, it caters to what we're able to recruit in this region of the country. It's tough to come up with those 1-3 technique, one-gap defensive tackle, those war daddy types.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys don't grow on trees.
Yep.
I mean, it's tough for anybody to come up with enough of those guys to have some depth there. But what we can come up with are a number of those tweener guys, those hybrid players that come out of high school. You're not quite sure if they're going to be a linebacker or if they'll stay a DB. Mm-hmm. Depends on what they come out of the weight program working as. But what that gives you is some flexibility. Those are the types of players that we can bring. And from a scheme standpoint, it puts you in a position to be creative. You can dial some different things up from different parts of the field and different looks. I think you've seen Pruitt do that with his 3-4. There's some parallels to be drawn there with the odd stack and the 3-3-5. And one additional point is it helps you populate your coverage units. When you look at the guys on your kick unit, your punt return units, your punt coverage units, the guys populating those units by and large are those types of body types, those backers, those DBs, and your roster is now more complete with more of those types of kids.
Jed, being a former wide receiver, I love passing plays. Bring me all the passing plays that you can get. I would rather catch passes than to stalk block and block all day long. But as a receiver, you understand that the running games helps you as a wide receiver, getting one-on-one coverage, getting guys in the box so you're able to run past them. As a quarterback, you love the running game too because now defensive ends don't tee off on you. You can run some draws, you can run some screens. Having a balanced running game helps you as a passer at the quarterback position. When you watch West Virginia, when you talk about West Virginia, all people talk about is Will Grier and his beautiful hair. It is beautiful, I ain't gonna lie. It's beautiful. His beautiful hair and his dynamic set of wide receivers. But West Virginia is going to have to run the ball too if they're going to be successful. Really hard to imagine them dropping back 60 times versus a SEC front and being able to be successful. How do you feel about the balance on offense of West Virginia and maybe their running game or maybe some of their screen passes to the wide receivers, which can be an extension of the running game?
Another good point, and that's the last thing that we would want to do approaching a football game against the Tennessee Volunteers team. And the worst thing that you can do from an offensive standpoint is allow a defense to reduce you to one dimension, because then they can just sit out and attack that dimension, and no matter how good you might be at it, it's not going to help you and it's not going to serve you well. A handful of years ago, Mike Leach joked, it was tongue-in-cheek, he told Dana that he was throwing him out of the air raid club. Okay, because Dana had adopted this physical, punishing downhill running game, and it was much more of a 50-50 proposition, run and pass, than it used to be, throwing it 65, 70 times with 5 wides all the time like it was at Texas Tech. He started watching Dana, and he's like, I don't even recognize what you're doing anymore. You got fullbacks, you got tight ends, you're pounding the football downhill, you're only throwing it 45, 50 times. Well, when you're running 90 snaps, you can also run it 40, 45 times, right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of that. But a handful of years ago, I think Dana started to recognize, look, everybody in this Big 12 is running some version of this air raid spread. So to distinguish ourselves or to make ourselves different and more difficult to prepare for, we have to add another element. And that element that he decided to add was the physicality of that downhill run game. There was a point we didn't have fullbacks on our roster. We didn't have really tight ends on our roster. So we started recruiting those types of kids. We started integrating that into the offense. It became a mainstay in the offense probably 3-4 years ago. And one of the derivative effects of doing that is, and this is something that's not talked about nearly enough, if you don't have a physical downhill running game that you can run with your ones in a heated practice, then how do you expect your ones on defense to get used to trying to stop them? You forge steel through steel, right? I mean, that's how this works. You can't be a finesse football team and hope that your defense can stop a physical football team. So it helps both sides of the football. Your program benefits from it globally. And I think a handful of years ago, those are the types of things that Dana Holgerson, as an old air raid guy, started to recognize, and he truly changed who he was as a play caller and as a head coach, and started integrating elements of those physical downhill run games into what we do. And now it's very much a staple and a mainstay of what we do, and it makes game planning not just for Tennessee, but anybody a little bit easier because you have that versatility. It's a very, very critical part of what we do.
Cannot have an interview and not talk about Will Grier. He's actually playing in front of his home crowd there in North Carolina, Charlotte area, and he goes to Florida. And I've been there as an athlete. You try to get that edge, whether it's extra treatment or extra supplements or whatever. And unfortunately, he made a young mistake and he took something that he shouldn't have taken, and he was suspended for a year. And, college football fans will joke and all that stuff about PEDs and stuff like that. It's not like he was Barry Bonds or anything. But one thing we love as college fans, sports fans, and sports fans in general, are comebacks, are breakthroughs and redemption stories. And Will Grier has a really cool redemption story. He's married, kid, so his focus is where it needs to be. This is his last year, so he's trying to make a great impression. You guys started a Heisman campaign really, really early, in the summer, because hey, it's West Virginia. Sometimes you don't get that notoriety. Now RG3 got some at Baylor, so that gives you hope there for Will Grier. But what's his approach been like? How has he been able to handle all the expectations with the Heisman Trophy and all that stuff? What's his receivers' mindset? But mainly, I want to know about Will Grier.
When you look at how that played out, again, that wasn't a rash decision. Dana is a guy, I for a long time published a preseason magazine up here in West Virginia, and I had to be very careful about what I even put on the cover of the magazine because Dana might not like it if it looked like you were being too boastful. He didn't like it at all. So for Dana to greenlight a Heisman campaign like this speaks to the confidence he has in the maturity of Will Grier to be able to handle that. Because that's typically not the type of thing that he wants to be a part of. But he recognized the value not only it brings Will Grier, but the value it brings the West Virginia program and even the state. And Will is an incredibly mature kid. He really is. And when you look at him, he's a guy, the son of a coach, Chad Grier. His dad was a successful high school coach in North Carolina, now in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up doing all the right things, walking the tight and narrow. But as you touched on, he made a mistake in Gainesville. He paid for it. He is all about redemption. That has been rectified, and he has absolutely made the most of this second opportunity in life. He started the family you touched on. That's all he has in his life, football and going home to his family. That's what he's all about. This is a kid who, when he transferred into the program, before he played it down, he was running the scout team, obviously, which we might have the best scout team in America at the time with David Sills and Will Grier on it. But at the time, he was running the scout team. He so quickly won that locker room over that even the year that he had to sit out after the transfer, he was already one of the true leaders of this football team. I mean, everything he's not really a vocal leader. It's just they follow his behavior. It really resonates with the kids. I think if anybody is equipped to handle this type of thing, I absolutely believe it's Will, just because of that unique maturity level that he really does have.
Jed, last question before we get you out of here. Give us a Will Grier weakness. I know he has a ton of strengths. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Aaron Rodgers and how he's able to improvise and move in the pocket and keep his eyes down the field, and really, really, really fun to watch. Give me a weakness of Will Grier, quarterback to quarterback, and then give me your prediction on the game, and we'll see you on Friday and Saturday after that. So give me a weakness of Will Grier and a score prediction, if you don't mind, sir.
Okay, if I was watching tape on Will Grier from the outside looking in a year ago, or even to some extent during his time at Florida, what you're going to recognize is there was a point in his career through the duration of that he thought you could win the game on every play. And there were absolutely times that he tried to make too many things happen. He didn't understand the value of, hey, let's punt it away and live to fight another day. That results sometimes in poor outcomes for your offense. I mean, we were tied for the Big 12 in 26 giveaways as an offense. That was tied with Kansas for the most in the conference. That's not the type of thing you need. Now, Will had 13 picks. Only a handful of those you could argue were his fault, a lot of tip balls, things of that nature. But he has to start to understand, and I do think that's one of the things he did this offseason, committed to that understanding. Look, the game isn't won on every single play. Mm-hmm. There are going to be times that when less dynamic plays need made, your conventional plays, your routine plays. That's one of the things Dana talks about with him, the routine plays. You don't have to win the game on every snap. Sometimes you punt it away and you live to fight another day. But to be honest with you, Jason, I would be convinced at this point the Tennessee Volunteers are absolutely sick and tired of hearing about Will Grier and David Sills in the West Virginia offense, and that is part of what's going to feed into what we're going to see on Saturday. We will take their best shot. There's no doubt about it. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a dogfight. I think both football teams will probably be in the 20s. You guys will find ways to put points on the board. You have a great creative offensive staff. You're going to come out. You're going to try and be physical. You'll have some success in doing so. There'll be times you have success. There'll be times we do. I'm going to say 28-24 type game, maybe a 31-24 type game.
I like it. I can see that too. I can see West Virginia being not as explosive offensively because of the type of athletes on defense. I can see Tennessee's offense being a little bit more successful than what people saw last year based on some matchup advantages in their direction. Okay, who is on the winning end of that 28-24 score, Mr. Jed?
Well, hopefully. I'll put it to you like this. If we don't have the same crew we had at TCU last year, then hopefully we are. How about that?
I don't blame you one bit, man. And we'll see you here soon because the basketball teams play against each other too this season.
There you go, man.
So we'll be seeing a lot of West Virginia, and I really appreciate your time, and congratulations on all that you've done so far with your career after football, and continued success to you. And we hope to have you on again sometime, man. I really, really appreciate the time.
Absolutely, Jason. Keep up the good work, buddy.
Hey, thank you. At the Signal Caller on Twitter, that is Jed Drenning here on the Swain event. Some good stuff from him. Played ball, understands ball, and he's a sideline reporter for the Mountaineers. Roommates with Tony Gibson. You know they boys when he calling him his nickname on the show, calling him Gibby. And just like I said yesterday, that 3-3-5, it's not like Tony Gibson woke up one day and was like, hey, my ideal defensive scheme is a 3-3-5. I want to play this. Well, I think you have to play that because of some recruiting limitations. I think you have to play that because of where you play ball, what conference you play in. And so they've made it work for them more times than not, and we'll see if they can make it work on Saturday. I don't know if they can line up 3-3-5 for 4 quarters and let Tyson Helt know that's what he's doing the whole entire time. I think West Virginia's going to mix it up. I think they're going to try to confuse Jared Guarantano. He still is relatively young when you look at his experience and his number of snaps. So I think Tony Gibson's going to mix it up a little bit. But we're going to mix it up a little bit because we're going to go back to the phones, and we're going to be joined by Keenan Cummings at Rivals Keenan on Twitter, and he covers the team for Rivals. Keenan, good morning.
Good morning, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, thank you for joining us. I talked a little bit with Jed Drenning earlier, and I asked him about the 3-3-5, and he cited recruiting, something I cited on the show yesterday. You cover recruiting. You cover the team. Talk to us a little bit more about Tony Gibson, about Daniel Holgerson, and their approach in recruiting defensive players and how they fit into the 3-3-5 defense.
I think a lot of it comes down to versatility. You know, there's only so many guys out there at different spots, and if you're going to find somebody, you're going to usually find somebody in the secondary or linebackers that you can grow, or safeties that can grow into linebackers. So they focus a lot on guys that fit certain needs. They want long, rangy, athletic guys. You know, a lot of guys, you look at like a guy like Nick Witkowski a couple years ago, played middle linebacker for the Bears. The guy came in as a safety, grew into a linebacker. There's 2 positions. They really don't recruit traditional Mike linebackers. They recruit kind of outside guys. They grow them in, or safeties. Usually if you're a nose guard, you're going to play nose guard in West Virginia's scheme. But other than that, I mean, they really recruit guys to kind of move them around and develop them in other spots. And, you know, it's worked for West Virginia for the most part. You know, last year was a down year, but there were quite a few issues on defense. But, you know, this is a defense that West Virginia has been running for years now, it seems, you know, outside of 2012, and you know, they've won 3 BCS Bowls with it and had a lot of success.
West Virginia is returning first-team All-American and led the country in touchdown receptions last year, and David Seals, junior, the 5th, and he has a really cool story. You don't hear this story a lot. He was offered by Lane Kiffin as a toddler. I think he was just born. Lane Kiffin offered him a scholarship to college, and he goes on and he tries to play quarterback, and you know it doesn't turn out. But then he goes on to be one of the best receivers in the league, and now he's returning this season with Will Greer. You cover recruiting. How easy has it been for West Virginia to be able to recruit the skill position player now that they've had success with a guy like David Seals, who they've converted from quarterback?
Yeah, it even goes back even before that. You know, look at Devin Bailey. You know, look at Tavon Austin. That stuff kind of compounds, you know, over the years. I think Dana Holgerson's never had any problems, you know, finding skilled players. Yeah, you look at, you know, David Sills, his story is pretty incredible. But Gary Jennings, you know, a lot of schools wanted him as a safety. You know, Notre Dame and some other schools wanted him as a safety. West Virginia said, hey, we'll play at wide receiver, and he led the team in receptions and yards last year. So I don't think they're ever going to have trouble as long as Dane Holgerson's there finding guys that can catch the football. But something that's kind of crazy about David Sills is he did catch 18 touchdown passes last year, but he'll be the first person to tell you that he's got a lot of areas to improve. You know, I know he played some wide receiver in his first year at West Virginia before he left to the JUCO ranks to try quarterback one more time. But last year was his first full year playing wide receiver, and it's kind of crazy to think that, you know, a guy that was recruited as a quarterback, wanted to play quarterback, had that much athleticism and that much concentration to put up that kind of season.
Keenan Cummings here on the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. every team has, weaknesses on their roster unless you're Alabama because they just draft each and every year. Maybe Clemson and Ohio State, teams like that too, that do really well in recruiting. Tennessee obviously has their depth issues and weaknesses here and there. What are some of the weaknesses and depth concerns for West Virginia?
I think on paper, West Virginia's offensive line looks really good. They got a lot of guys coming back, a lot of guys that are promising, but it was a unit that really was inconsistent last year. Did not match up with what they had on paper, struggled a lot, especially in the interior. I personally think, from what I've heard, what I've seen, that group's going to be better, but I'm very much under the belief of prove it to me. So I think it's going to be very interesting going against a very big, very skilled front of Tennessee, about front seven that is, and I think that's something I'm watching. On the defensive side, there's a lot of things. I think West Virginia's got to prove that last year was a fluke. A lot of the issues started, again, up front. West Virginia couldn't hold gaps, struggled, guys got out of position. They got creased by a lot of teams running the football. And really for the 3-3-5, it's not as common as you would expect. So they really struggled there. They struggled with consistency at cornerback, and they rolled in a lot of guys. They only have 4 really right now they trust, but it's 4 guys that they think have taken big steps. So there's issues there. But the interesting one to me, it kind of kicks back to the offense. For West Virginia's numbers, they don't really make sense in the realm of football last year. This was a team that was hovering right around the top 20 in scoring and total offense and was near the bottom of college football in third downs. Those things typically don't go together. So West Virginia was big playing people or bust. That can't really keep up. You're going to struggle. That helped put the defense in some bad situations. So the talk all offseason has been get more efficiency, get better understanding of what needs to happen on certain downs and distances, and understanding how to attack teams. And if they do that, I think this offense has a chance to take a major step forward.
West Virginia loses an 1,000-yard rusher in Justin Crawford, and it looks like they're going to lean on 4 guys, at least in the opener. Do you believe that the running back by committee will be able to take pressure off the West Virginia passing game?
Yeah, it should. And I think going back to the commitment up front, too, I think being better on the interior will help a lot. That was an area that struggled last year. They really couldn't generate much push. They weren't very creative in the run game. That's been a focus all offseason. West Virginia understands that if they want to move the ball, if they want to be more efficient, trusting the run game has to come with that.
Keenan Cummings here in the Swain event covers the team for Rivals. It sounds like you think this game is going to be closer than maybe what Vegas thinks. Vegas thinks it's going to be a 10-point win for West Virginia. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think this has a chance to be a close game. I really do. I think Tennessee's got a lot of talent, and there's just the unknown. You don't really know much about Tennessee right now. They have players. You have kind of an idea what they're going to do defensively. On offense, probably going to be a mix of USC, Colorado State, but does anyone really know how it's going to look? I doubt they showed much in the spring. I think that it'll be interesting. I think openers are always interesting. West Virginia has talent, but they have questions too. So I think that this could be a touchdown, 2-touchdown game, either one way or the other.
When Dana Holgorsen made those comments about his team being at a disadvantage because of the practice times, did you hear that as an excuse, or did you hear that as a legitimate reason? And maybe the timing was a little bit off in mentioning the kind of the disparity in the practice time.
I'm really surprised that's taken off the way it has. That's something he's really talked about pretty much all offseason. He was upset kind of that school was starting earlier, that he was going to have to give up some practice time, and it did start a little bit earlier than normal. It goes right in line with kind of the comments he's made about scheduling. He's talked to pretty much all summer about how West Virginia is going to play 11 Power 5 opponents. He just wants – I think really the thing is a lot of people have kind of taken that as a shot in a sense, and really I think he's just speaking to uniformity. He'd like to see some uniformity across college football and, people starting at the same times if possible, people playing the same type of schedules.
It took off for Tennessee fans because you got to realize who their coach was last year. And that's all the Tennessee fans heard was little things like that. Why you couldn't do something. Why this will be hard. I mean, Tennessee fans heard things like, hey, half the football team, they haven't flown on a plane. It's like, who cares about flying on a plane? You got to go play a football game at the end of the day. And they heard things like, hey, this team's going to play 3 games in 13 days. So I think when they heard Dana Holgorsen, they automatically thought, okay, this guy's making excuses like Bush Jones. So I understand.
I like the context there. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that's why you probably heard a little bit from Tennessee fans about those comments. That may seem normal to you guys over there because that's something he's talked about in for a while. But for Tennessee fans, it was like, oh, my God, this guy sounds like Bush Jones. But we know he's not because he's a good coach.
Another thing Tennessee fans are doing, they're kind of looking at last year's defensive stats for West Virginia and kind of assuming that they're going to be bad this season. And I feel similar to as many feel about Tennessee. You don't really know how they're going to play this season. With the additions of Kenny Bigelow and Jabril Robinson, grad transfers along West Virginia's defensive line, I think it's fair to say you don't know how West Virginia's front is going to show up. How big of an impact have they had early on through fall camp and just being impact players on that defensive line?
Let's clarify first, guys, that fall camp's always optimistic, where everybody's always saying kumbaya on fall camp.
Yep.
But I think that West Virginia genuinely believes that this group is going to be a lot better than last year. I think, as I talked about earlier, that's where West Virginia struggled the most. They had guys that were getting out of position, trying to kind of do their own thing, not playing into the scheme. And if you don't play into the scheme here, you're causing a lot of trouble. And it just was an issue for most of the year last year. They really like those two guys. They're listed at the start of the depth chart. Bigelow has apparently played very well. This is a 5-star guy out of high school. Looks like first guy off the bus. He looks different. Probably about 6'4", 300 pounds and lean.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks like a different player. Will he hold up? Will he be the guy that everyone thought he could be? If he does, that's a major boost for West Virginia. Just speaking with Clemson guys, Jabril was a guy that many of them felt could play most places in the country. Unfortunately, he was stuck behind 4 guys for Clemson that make up your all-ACC first-team defensive line, which is unheard of, but that kind of was his issue. The one thing I can say, regardless of how they come out and play, is they've helped bring stability to the position. The younger guys are really kind of following their lead and understand that, hey, this is how we're supposed to do things. So no matter what happens, that is a win for the future of the program.
Keenan Cummings here at Rivals Keenan on Twitter is where you can follow Mr. Cummings. Okay, last question, sir. Who do you have in this football game and why?
See, I've gone back and forth on this. I like you guys. I think that this one's going to be closer than people think. I just think there's so many unknowns for Tennessee. I feel like they'll probably start the younger kid. I think that quarterback. I think the offense probably isn't going to change much regardless who they start. I think West Virginia's probably going to win this game, but it's probably going to be 7 points, 10 points. I think it's going to be a close one. I think this is going to be a battle. I think both teams are going to play better defensively than people expect. And the thing I'm most interested in is how West Virginia's offense goes against this Tennessee defense. I want to see if West Virginia is able to kind of back up the things they've talked about all summer. Can they be efficient? We all know they can score. Can they be efficient, move the football, and make critical plays at critical times to win a football game? And I think this Tennessee defense is probably going to be better than people expect.
It's going to be a great game for sure. It's going to be 2 fan bases there in Charlotte, North Carolina that's passionate. I think it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. And, Keenan, man, thanks so much for your time and safe travels down to Charlotte. Hope you have a great time and safe travels back to West Virginia. Really appreciate you joining us on the show today.
No problem, guys. Have me on any time. And I'll see you guys down there. Look forward to meeting you.
All right. Sounds good, Keenan. Thank you for your info, man. I think it's some really good info. Really think between Jed and Keenan, man, we have some good stuff there. They both picked West Virginia. Chris Lowe picked West Virginia. So we're 0 for 3 on our guest today. I know one thing. The show's called Swain Event, and I'm picking Tennessee.
You've already picked Tennessee. You picked Tennessee on the locker room.
That's right.
Sunday night.
I'm picking Tennessee to win.
You didn't hesitate either.
Nope. I've been watching West Virginia for a while. I've been watching our football team for a while, and if I didn't believe it, I would say West Virginia. I have no problem in picking the team I think is going to win. But I think Tennessee is going to come out and they're going to play. They're going to play balls to the wall. I do.
From the window.
I think they're going. I don't even know if I can say that, but I did.
Wall.
But I think they're going to go out there and play carefree and play for one another and play their tails off, play hard for their coach. And it helps when you have talent. And I think this team has talent. I think we win. So it's Wednesday, and I'm already telling you who I think is going to win and already giving you my winner. I did not give you my score prediction, so I guess I'll say that for Friday. But thank you to Jed Drenning and Keenan Cummins, and also, Chris Lowe. Thank you, too, for joining us, because he was probably the most busy out of the three. 865-255-03. Let's go to the text box, take a look at the Facebook Live comments before we wrap up today's show. Got to give a birthday shout-out to our guy on Twitter, @Volstorm. Real name John. I'm not going to tell you his last name, but his real name is John. But Volstorm's birthday is today. I think he's like 137, somewhere around there today. So just let @Volstorm know that it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to Volstorm.
Also have to give a happy birthday shout out to Angela on the text box. She said today is her birthday, and your show is the best. So we appreciate the kind words, and happy birthday to Angela.
She did drop her age on me.
I didn't want to put it out there like that.
Hey, she's 40, so she says she's 40 years old. That she's depressed today, so the shutout may help a little bit. So, Angela, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Landon in Texas says, we want the ball, and we're going to score. That is the old, was that Matt Hasselbeck when the Seahawks played the Packers in the playoffs?
I think so.
And
because he
threw a pick six.
To the dude with the dreadlocks.
Al Harris.
Yeah, he
threw a pick. Oh, man.
You know his adrenaline was pumping if he sits there and says, we want the ball and we're going to score.
Oh, I know it, man. B. Will VFL says, what are your thoughts on rumors that the game will be 60% West Virginia fans and 40% Tennessee fans? That's hard to believe. I just don't believe Tennessee will be. Tennessee really should be. We should have less fans in West Virginia. When you
Based off of what happened.
When you think about what's happened inside this program the last couple of years, West Virginia should have more fans than us. But it's 4-hour drive for us. It's not that far for them. I still think that UT fans should to really out perform West Virginia as far as attendance. I do. Mad Dog says, why do birds fly upside down over West Virginia? Because there's nothing worth ishing on. That's from Mad Dog. How about that? Tennessee Pride 85. Swain, I have some breaking news for you. The West Tennessee Ninja is not, in fact, from West Tennessee. He's a resident of Irwin, Tennessee. West Virginia. He's not a resident of West Virginia, but he's a resident of Irwin, Tennessee. So we have this lethal weapon on our side. I don't know if I would call it a lethal weapon, but hey, he's entertaining.
He may view himself as a lethal weapon.
Well, we have a lethal weapon, and it's the birthday boy. It is Volstorm, and I think this is probably Volstorm's first time calling in on the show since we moved into the new studio. But Volstorm, it is an honor for you to call us on your birthday. Happy birthday, sir.
Well, happy Volstorm Day to everybody.
Happy birthday, my man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You know, Swain, if you end up going to Alumni Hall like I'm going to later and you buy an orange polo, it'll be the first time you ever buy something that's not devoid of color.
That's not true, Volstorm.
That is true.
That's not true. I have plenty of different colors in my closet. It's like the rainbow up there.
That time that you wore a blue polo on the show, we all know you borrowed that from Charlie.
No. You know, me and Charlie, we don't wear the same size, and then Charlie likes his shirts 2 sizes smaller. So there's no way I'd have been able to breathe with Charlie's shirt on.
Hey, did Did Chris Lowe say he's going to buy lunch for everybody if Tennessee wins?
He said he was going to buy lunch.
That's what I heard.
Well, he said he's going to buy lunch for me and my wife, but, you know, lunchtime is usually during the day. My wife has to work, so if you want to, you can fill in.
I don't think I could fill her shoes, man.
Well, you can get a free meal. How about that? I will substitute my wife for you because it's your birthday. She won't mind.
All right. Couple things. West Virginia could run a 4-3, 3-4, 3-3-5, 5-6-7-8, element OP. It's not going to matter because their defense is going to have so many holes, especially with the offense that we're trying to run. It's going to wear them down, man.
Yes. I mean, I truly believe that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing that I'm worried about with our defense is not going to be slowing down their running game and not going to be, you know, I'm not worried about the short passes. What I'm worried about is the intermediate stuff, you know, around your linebackers and safety. That's where I'm a little bit worried about, you know, making sure they got that communication. Because, I mean, they're all in the new system, new coaches.
I'm worried about Volstorm. And thanks for the phone call. Happy birthday. We got about a minute before we got to run. I'm worried about the defensive line. Not because I don't think they're going to perform, because they really should. They have talent. They have the experience. But if they don't perform, I know what's going to happen. And it's going to be ugly. If you don't put pressure on Will Grier, those receivers, Will Grier, they're too good not to find holes in the defense in 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
It'll be a long day.
4 seconds. If you don't get to Will Grier by that 4th second, we're going to have some problems. Some big problems. You're going to be mad. You're going to be cussing. You're going to want folks fired and benched if we don't get to Will Grier in less than 4 seconds. And that is on the defensive line. That's on this front seven. Got to get to him. That is our time for today. The Swain event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center. LowTCenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare. Make sure, gentlemen, feeling not like yourself, low energy, low libido, make sure you call the Low T Center. Go to their website, LowTCenter.com. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope you have a great Wednesday. Peace and